Not the laptop.
Hello, and welcome to Tabletalkers, Rise of the Ancients, Episode 2. Last time, the party ventured into Diakov and got to see a nice, war-torn land, had a whole lot of these little spiritual dredges left along the edges of these battlefields. The party, some of them, took pot shots at them, and they were very quickly banished. Other ones just kind of let them pass. Eventually, you guys found an area that didn't have these things, but did instead find a strange halfling seeming to not be all there. Upon accosting them, spiritual energies coalesced in this weird scaled thing that they were carrying around, formed the fuck-ass giant boss enemy, and then combat ensued, which resulted in some horrific deaths and injuries. At the end of that, Sanina, having managed to kill the beast, ran over and started to tend to her compatriots and made a discovery that Uzat had, been crispified by this thing's electrical powers, and Yorick, I guess, fell wrong. So, with Uzat's name being...
There was a giant-ass lightning explosion. Don't you dare do this to me.
It was your nat one, and we all know it.
But I got blasted with lightning, damn it.
I just picture Sanine going over to this burnt up bugbear that smells of death and burnt hair.
Yeah, pretty accurately, as you draw out the amulet that Valen gave to you that allows you to cast Reincarnate, if you would like to do so now. Or, just leave him dead. You did just mute yourself, don't know why.
Wait, I got it. The lightning knocked the wind out of him and he fell face first into a puddle.
God damn it. Why can't I? Why is it always me? Everyone else dies. Oh no, I die. Well, shit.
It happens too often for us to...
Yeah, but we get you back.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I
We
would
have
like
the means
to
to get you back.
Quick thing, just because I know you had to take off earlier, Max. Uzat both is crispified and his name has been engraved on his shield, which has some weird sort of soul thingy to it. Just from what he's described. But it is time to reincarnate, yes?
Reincarnate the bugbear.
I have the
That means you
table
gotta roll.
prepared. I would like for you to get out a D100 or 2D10.
I rolled it online. Is that cheating? Do I need to roll it on an actual D10?
You can roll whatever type of dice you want. It's RNG regardless. The gods know.
I rolled all online.
I mean,
It says
unless you
49.
roll the dice that are broken, then
Is
that's
weighted.
not okay. 49? Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
That is step 1. Good. Interesting. I would like for you to roll again.
I swear to God, if I end up as a female again.
It has happened twice in a row.
I know.
As a matter
32.
of fact, every time someone has cast this fucking spell, it's happened that way.
Did it
Interesting.
just happen?
Okay. Now I need you to roll it again.
Roll it again. 95.
I'm scared. This is 3 in a
Whoa.
row.
Interesting. Now for the final part. One more time.
One more
I'm
time.
scared. Why are we rolling 4 times?
Because there have been
Well-
more races since the last time I've done this, so I've had to categorize everything in little sub things. 12, you said?
12.
That's incredibly fitting. All right.
I am scared.
So,
Is it the toil?
it is not. Though it is orange.
There.
It is orange?
It's orange. So, Sanina, you roughly know what this reincarnate spell does. You take the amulet off, verbatim, just kind of read the inscription on it. It begins to activate, floats up over the deceased individual, and then plunges downward and breaks itself in the process. And then, slowly forming next to this dead body, is a small frame. Looking it over, it has 2 legs, a tail, a small body, and a head with these big ears. As it begins to form itself more completely, you can see it begin to have a scaly coat to it, much akin to every other kobold you've ever seen. And the scales then turn a dark shade of orange.
Aw, it's very Matthew.
The ears, by the way, now that they have formed, they are very much like the overlong, you can use these to flap around if you really wanted to, kind.
Are they like a third of my height alone?
Almost.
But Eric.
Yo.
Which kobold stat block is he using?
I don't know what the new one is, and I need to see it before I clear it.
So
The
it
old
sounds like
one's more fun. The old one's more fun.
So he has -6 strength, or 6 strength.
Now.
So he's a scaly lizard man?
He's a scaly
Women?
little lizard guy. He's a guy. You actually got a male.
Oh,
You reincarnated
holy
to a
shit.
male. You did it. You broke the curse.
I broke the curse.
Maybe it's just the opposite gender of whoever rolls it.
Maybe. That's true. Yorick, you kind of slowly come to terms or not terms, really. You slowly come to consciousness. Look up. You feel bad. And you can kind of groggily see Sanina over you. And looking to the left, you see what appears to be your burnt and broken frame.
Look over. Just that slow, as everything still feels painful and blackening.
Yeah, you got the, I just came back from death. Actually, no, you just came back from death. I have to roll on my dice. You are fine.
Sanine's going to hand him a dagger.
He's not paying attention. He's a little, just stuck staring at the fact that his body is next to him.
Yeah, you got the I just came back from death curse. You're at a -4 for a while. To yes.
Yeah, it's like a long rest for each negative, I think.
Start stripping down Yorick's old corpse.
Am I naked?
Yeah. Doesn't reincarnate you of clothes.
I didn't think so, but I was making sure.
But that said, you're also kind of lizardy now, so, being able to tell is not really...
Everything feels weird.
Yeah.
It's just him, quietly, looking around,
Sanine,
Did you even have clothes as the bugbear?
Yes, I had clothes. What the fuck kind of question is that?
I pictured you like a Chewbacca.
I showed you what bugbears looked like. They have clothes.
I pictured you like Chewbacca. You just had like a belt on.
Just a belt.
I have not been running around buck-ass naked.
we did establish that he had shoes.
Alright, so, deal with this.
No, that's what I said. It's just Yorick's what the fuck? What the fuck? He's freaking out right now.
Just calm down.
But
You died. But you're not dead. But you died. Capiche?
He curls into a ball.
Much easier now.
Reincarnation amulet I gave to Valen.
He curls into a ball.
You're a lizard now.
He is curled into a ball.
You might need some new clothes. Yeah.
Can you get him to the back of the cot, please?
Is he my size now?
Basically. Kobolds and gnomes
Yeah.
are of a height.
I'm gonna drag him by his arm.
There's a lot of
his
things.
tail.
There's kind of a lot, because remember, you guys are fighting on the remnants of an old battlefield. Maybe don't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can I grab him by his tail and pull him
Literally
over
probably
my
pick
shoulder?
me up.
I'm gonna pull him over my shoulder, but like a backpack, and his tail's gonna be like the strap.
I'm assuming that probably hurts.
Using all of your might, you manage this.
Come
Man
on,
wakes
buddy.
up. Man died, and now you have to just do pain to his entire spinal column.
And
I
he's
say-
literally just probably whimpering because his whole body is in pain right now.
You know that was meant for me, so I can be a little mean to him.
Mechanically, it's probably less of a pain, more of a, unescapable numbness.
Also, you probably don't know the sensation of having a tail.
I don't need the sensation of having a tail to feel pain in it.
It's just a new part to have pain in that he's not used to.
He's a little busy trying to figure out what the fuck is happening and not break down more. He already had a lot going on in his head. This isn't helping.
I'm gonna take him to the cart.
Oh, also, just for the sake of it, obviously, your Cobalt, whatever dark vision you had, like if it was the 120, knock it down to 60. It get rid of your sunlight
the sunlight
sensitivity, blah, blah, blah. Standard affair.
So, get all the stuff off of Old Yorick, get all the stuff off of Mr. Goblin there, Uzat. Do a quick casting of Mold Earth to bury the bodies. Cart.
You guys shoving this big heavy shield of his up there as well?
The Tombstone shield can just be literally just shoved into the earth above Uzat.
Okay, so you're leaving him there. Just passively. You're kind of aware, due to the sake of magic, that his soul is currently kind of trapped in there.
I'm not touching it.
Scratch beard a bit.
Yeah.
All of Uzat's people died, didn't they? So we're gonna take this with us just to see if we can get him out, maybe.
I'm not touching it.
Just hold attuned to it. Magic shit should be fine.
I'll
We'll
carry
keep
the
it.
lizard. You carry the shield.
It's going in the car. I'm not carrying it. Thing's heavy.
I think while you're having this debate, York's going to uncurl a bit and just kind of like wander over to where his corpse is.
No, I'm
that's
holding on to you.
This is the second
No.
time in my campaigns where you've started tall, ended small.
I know. Are you really going to stop him?
Yeah, I am. That's a
if you're
past
gonna,
life. Get over it.
My
if
shit
you-
is on it.
no, I'm taking the shit off and then burying it.
Well, I'm trying to get my clothes. I am naked.
Your clothes
They
won't
don't-
fit.
I can make do with something at least toga-like. Stop torturing the man who just died, please.
No.
The man
Watch
with
out.
wait, he has -4 to all stats, right?
He has
Yeah,
-4
no,
to any check he makes.
Okay, checks. Okay, I thought it was stat. I was thinking.
No,
Well,
it's
any die
checks.
roll.
I was thinking he has 2 strength.
No.
You can't fight me.
Just making sure you guys are picking it up. Big glowy purple thing that the boss dropped.
That was on. I think.
I was assuming that was
Where would
sitting in
it-
his inventory. It's just I want to make sure you guys get shit.
I wrote it on there.
Okay. I'd be very
You now
upset if
just
that was
have a,
left
like
behind.
trying to get loose Yorick on your back, I guess.
Nope. Try to fight me. I dare you. Stonewall, will you grab his clothes?
Working on it. Sitting there, just undoing belt buckle for the pants, taking his boots off.
It's not too long. You managed to get him unequipped. He's not fighting.
You're lucky. You're lucky. I'm literally tapped out of spells.
You can viciously mock.
I could. I don't think he's at the comprehension to do that. I was just looking at the other shit that would let him get away.
You gotta move on.
He's
buddy.
trying to escape.
You gotta move on.
This has nothing to do with moving on. This has to do with you dangling him like a stupid fucking bag on your back, and he's trying to
now
get
I-
loose.
Well, now I can do this. So, Sanine feels powerful.
There's something that I
She
seem
didn't
to have
actually know.
allowed that I
No.
did not know of.
I misread. I have a second level slot.
Sanine did also just kill a big ass thing.
This is also
yeah,
true.
Sanine
She's
feels
riding high.
powerful. Yeah, I am. Fight me.
You got a hit point. Everybody here has a hit point.
I know.
You wanna
Just
kill
to chalk,
No, just
Just
put you
to
on
chalk it
conscious
up.
so I can escape.
doing that dwarf feet thing, getting health back.
Okay.
Just every 6 seconds, getting health back.
however many times that can be used.
Until I'm out of hit points. Or until I'm out of hit die.
I'm gonna curl it on myself and use my spell to heal myself some and try to get rid of this feeling.
Doesn't quite work, but good effort.
He doesn't know that kind of thing.
Can I chug a healing potion?
You can do whatever.
I'm gonna chug a healing potion.
Sanine, let the man rest.
Puts
I
him
guess
in the
not.
bug.
I guess I'm steering.
Apparently this one wants to go back to his body.
I got him as clothes. He should be fine. Let's.
I like how much you guys are just writing off that he literally fucking died.
He'll be fine.
Their ability to
York.
rationalize that comes after they sleep away their lightning wounds.
York. Let's get somewhere where we
Yeah.
can get some clean air. And it doesn't smell like ozone.
Okay.
And we can have a safe place to sleep. You just curl up in a ball and
Yeah. He's trying to get out. No, he's not curled up right now. He's actively trying to get away, but apparently he's not being allowed to do anything. So he's just there.
you want to
Well,
see your
she
body.
put you down.
You want to see your body, I can go and bury it.
I just wanted to put clothes on.
I threw your clothes at you. And
No, I
everything else.
can't do anything. I'm hanging from her back.
No,
Oh,
I
no, she
told you
said-
to let you
Yeah.
go.
I missed that bit. I'm like, I'm still hanging from someone's back. I can't
No,
do
she didn't.
anything.
He didn't get in the cart and then just sit there with you hanging.
I don't know. If she's in that mood, she might.
I told you I put you in the cart.
I'm gonna try and make something to
I'm
just
not
preserve
heartless.
modesty.
She's not heartless, she's just cruel.
I'm not heartless, I'm just on a power kick. And a little cruel.
You finagle some clothes.
I'm just, even if it's just the shirt to wrap it in like a weird toga situation.
Basically, you try to figure out what to do with the pants, and it just kind of like,
No.
this is more than I am.
I can't even put my boots on. They're like my whole leg as I put one on and I realize this ain't gonna work.
It just doesn't go right.
And I put them down. I pick up the rapier and the shit, like that's just sitting right there. Like this is literally my whole body length.
You still have the dagger that Sanine made you.
He's just like currently going. Yeah, I was like, he's just currently going through stuff and realizing how much of what he had is just kind of like, what's happening to him? Why?
I played God today.
Accurate.
You get a hollowed stare,
I took a life and I gave a life.
and then he goes back to shuffling through his clothes.
I'll let you decide the new eye color, man.
The eye collar. Oh, I get the eye collar.
Well, yeah, you brought up the eyes. I didn't think about it.
Oh, what would be a fun eye? Just a nice bright blue.
I knew you were gonna pick blue.
Of course.
Fucking complimentary
Hey,
color
York.
picking asshole.
His favorite color combo is blue and orange, so
yeah,
you're
they're
making
complementary
this all about
colors.
him.
Hey, York,
Colin
Look
slowly
at it
drifts
this way.
towards you.
look at it this way. We were on a field where battle happened. There was a lot of dead bodies back there. And you're the only one that got to come back. You got some. Now you got a new story.
Just kind of looks at you for a minute. And then looks back down, like, trying
Did
to
you meet the
process
Grim
this
Reaper?
shit. I don't know. Did I meet the Grim Reaper?
It's a situation where you were either A, out for not long enough to be able to tell, or B, your physical and corporeal form is inherently unable to retain memories from such a time. So, I don't know.
Maybe? I don't know.
I'm your god now.
No,
Sanine,
no, you're
don't
not.
say it.
But no.
Don't say that when we get near the clerical type.
I think this may have been lurking beneath the surface this entire time. I apologize.
It has been. It has been. Am I like this? So like I'm like 2 feet tall and 25 pounds.
Yeah, sure.
I just was looking at kobolds. You said I was small like Sanine, so I assumed I was on the lower end of stuff.
You are proper goblin or proper blah 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 blah. Not
Kobold.
goblin. What are they called? Gnomes. They're gnomes. Jeez.
Yeah.
With an N sound.
That's why I was like 2 foot tall. Gotcha.
You're of a height,
Like,
but your
yeah,
ears make you taller.
Exactly. Looking at my crossbow, that's now like a 2-handed crossbow because it was 1-handed for Yorick.
It's still one-handed.
It's still mechanically. It's just looking at him like this is like you could hold this 2-handed comfortably, like a normal heavier crossbow.
The scale has simply changed. Yes. It goes from man, this thing's really tiny to
Sanine's actually taller than you. Sanine's 3 feet.
Sanine's the giant now. Oh god.
bump you up to 2'6", 7.
No. Just leave it at 2. It's fine. It works. It's fine. Leave it at 2.
Whatever
We're
you want to
good.
do, man.
Eric, how far is Nightbringer?
Nightbringer is kind of far away. If you guys just say fucking go for it with the cart, you can get there probably in under a week. You
Okay.
guys have some time to talk and think about stuff on the cart right there, though. For the most part, Yorick, you're okay-er than you were, but you need some proper, like, care and attention for it all to go away.
Alright. Sanine,
Mm-hmm.
let him have at least a night's rest before you bully him.
Fine.
Like, give him one night before you start treating him like your brother.
That sounds fair.
We're gonna be on the way to Nightbringer. Bismarck?
Sanine just killed a monster, so I think she's tired.
A little bit.
I'll bring us to somewhere that isn't here, and then we can set camp or just sleep in the cart.
Your cart begins to plod along. It's not too far
Bismarck.
before. Go on.
Punch face. And the third. Cracker. Say cracker this whip, or not whip, but
Rains.
rain. There we go.
It's not too long before you find a suitable clearing that doesn't look haunted. You guys get your stuff together. Bed down for a rest. It's an uneventful night. I can fast forward travel at any point in time. If there's extra stuff you guys want to do, tell me.
I'm out.
All right.
Any
Okay.
coping or storytelling your work has to do?
I'm trying to think of how he would handle this. Because despite how we're acting, he did literally just die, and that's a little bit of a view shaker.
He died,
It's
and
a
due to his
Tuesday.
actions before such a thing happened, Sanina was able to destroy what you can only describe as a fucking Omega Beast.
Yeah, but that takes the rational side. That doesn't take away the emotional impact.
Absolutely.
I think for the first day or two, he's probably gonna be pretty quiet. And kind of withdraw and try to figure out what's happening. Or what the fuck he's going, and you'll catch him a lot of times just like staring at the back of his hand. Or picking up and dropping his tail.
Looking at his reflection.
I don't know if we have anything reflective. We
A
might.
dagger
We do.
is reflective.
Okay. I was gonna say, if not, actually, I guess I could make a little mirror.
There's Uzat's mirror.
Ah! I don't know if I'm using that for this.
Maybe not. Might be a little fresh.
Badly. But I can use prestidigitation to make like a small handheld mirror, so that might be a thing too.
Do you want to go over and split that gear apart?
We'll get to that when we actually do that. I have a lot of the fucking gear here. But after like that little bit of day or two, just as we're kind of slowly trolling down the road, you're just gonna get a. So, what happened?
Ask Sanina, the person who walked away. And we had to finish the fight while she was present.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
I was asking the group in general because he was out, and when he came to, you guys came to.
Sanina stabbed it. Snake blew up.
I remember that part.
We'll make it sound more heroic and badass when we actually tell it to other people.
I mean, it sounds pretty heroic and badass if you just look at it.
I was getting ready to say, I mean, explosions of lightning. Already kind of there.
I saved your life.
Jackson and Sanina, by the way, you guys have some markings from that thing. Like, some of it may, like if you've ever gotten a bad bit of road rash or something like that, it may scar, but not, like, in a big, obvious way.
Oh, so I don't even get a cool scar on my face?
Depends. Do you want one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be an electrical burn one, so it's like a slash mark. It's, I don't know, you want to be like Prince Zuko or something?
Well, she blew it the fuck up, and the crystalline structure inside this thing fucking exploded and fragmented everywhere. So I can do that if you want.
I want to scar across my nose.
Sure. Let's say diagonal going upward from your left side. It ends a little bit above your right eye. It's a big one.
Cool. Cool scar. I'm a badass.
Nina,
What did you say at the end of that last bit?
I said I'm a badass.
No, I meant before we all went on the detour of scars.
so Nina, we should come
saved
up
your
with a
life.
name for you. He did. She did.
Well, at least the favor got reversed and returned. Thank you, I guess. Thank you. I guess was the wrong term. Thank you still for that.
And now you're twice as cool.
I
You got
know what
these
you're gonna
claws.
just looking at you like with the foreign look of like, yeah.
You do in fact have claws now. They are longer than your nails were, but probably not good for clawing something.
You got these claws. And got this tail.
Steps on the tail as you say this, like.
do. I know what you can do to pay her back.
The life saving wasn't enough.
Look, it's not gonna be enough in her books, and you know it.
That thing's gonna be enough in her books. Look how she treated her brother.
Flashback, I'm your god now.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Look, when you have to borrow up the stories, we should give her a title for it.
That was
Something-
already in the books because of what happened.
Yes, but give her specifically a title for it.
That's what I was gonna do. She's the one who killed it.
A snake slayer or a serpent slayer?
It was me.
I've actually thought of if people here would have titles that they've earned yet, and I have a perfect one for Sanina. And if it comes up,
So,
Feel free to share.
not yet. This is from me. The people know
the guard
this.
stabber. The guard stabber.
No.
The silencer of snakes.
She's a little terror.
Tiny terror. Tiny terror, yeah.
Now it
But,
will be revealed in time.
go ahead.
Sanina. Sanina the snake player. We'll work something out for it, York.
Something probably a little bit less generic, maybe.
Slayer
Oh.
of the Great Serpent.
You know, that might work a little bit better. That describes it pretty well, I think. Where are we going now, by the way?
Nightbringer.
Oh, good. I want some clothes.
The place we first picked you up at. Just in
I
case.
remember where it is. I just kind of want some clothes. It'd be real nice right about now.
Sanine, would Sanine have any extra clothes?
I don't think
I
that
have a
Sanina has a penchant for disguising that I've seen thus far.
I have a disguise kit.
Are you saying that now is whenever you actually decide to use these things?
I used my disguise kit once. I turned into my brother.
You did that by rolling around in the trash.
But I used my disguise skill.
I don't know what different I'll get. Oh, bother. It's gonna be hard finding anybody in Gin.
Can I use my disguise kit
convinced.
to fix his pants?
If you want to hem his pants, you may.
I want to hem his
I
pants.
don't
that, I
think any
mean-
amount of hemming is
Correct.
enough.
By that I mean you're going to take his old pants, fucking
I'm gonna
destroy
cut
them,
and make new pants.
and create new pants.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I literally went from 7 foot to 2 foot.
I got a 17.
Sanina is preparing pants for a couple days. Whatever
feel
else
like-
happens.
I feel like we could
I'm
have
also
just
gonna make
taken-
him a headband.
I feel like we could have
like a
just taken some
bandana.
pants. I feel like we could have just taken some pants off a body on the side of the road and been easier to fit them.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that one.
But he likes these pants. These are good pants.
I mean,
They're a bit burnt.
sure.
Those pants are rather burnt.
I kind of stole them off a wash line, but sure.
They're a wee bit worse
Just
for
hear
wear
ripping.
since they mentioned this.
I know. He got blasted with lightning. He's just having the mouth like, oh no. Well, nobody's gonna believe me.
I
I
believe
used to
you.
be tall.
No.
Really? Yeah, 7 foot.
No.
Really?
No one's
You wanna
gonna
go
believe. Nobody I knew is gonna believe it's me.
You want a good berry?
My whole reputation I built up somewhat's gone.
You had a reputation.
These are your
Before
friends.
this group, yes.
People knew who
I know
you
this
were.
is my friends. I know.
You mean you weren't just a slum that we found on the side of the road?
You see, I see why the Bray brother went back to the tavern now.
I thought you were a hobo.
It took you this long?
No. It's just another confirmation. Just another little one.
So you're not a hobo.
No. I was a traveler. I wandered and told stories.
That's a fancy phrase for a hobo.
Then you're a hobo from your own descriptions.
I never
One who
said I
murders.
wasn't.
Yeah, one who murders.
I'm the best type of hobo.
But I stayed in inns. I stayed in places. I didn't sleep on the streets.
Me
You're the
neither.
hobo.
Usually.
You're the hobo that if we weren't having legal contracts to do stuff, you'd be in jail for murder.
I think it was
What's
still
that?
attempted, actually. You know, I can safely say whenever I took off and I've been like, hey, we're gonna go out and wander the world. This isn't what I had in mind. He's just like, ah, to his hands.
So yes or no to the good berry?
I'll take a good berry.
Yum yum
Stops.
good.
Oh no. I have to convince my mom and me. Oh no.
If you ever see her again.
I thought your mom was dead.
Why did you assume she was dead?
In fairness,
I don't
standard
know.
adventure affair. Oftentimes,
I was living.
exactly.
But my mom's on holiday. My mom and your mom are chilling on a beach together.
I have two parents still. Thank you very much.
My mom and your mom are on a date cruise.
Oh god. Oh God's why.
Maybe they're just taking a spa day in the swamp with mine as well.
In the distance,
Looks up
off
to the
mic,
skies.
hearing Max just say hell yeah through Matt's mic.
She's looking up to the sky. Why? I think it's safe to say plans did not go as intended. Did you guys happen to grab anything from anything that like what happened after all that? I was a little unaware at the time.
Dead. The word is dead.
No,
Selena
I
got
meant after I woke up and was currently trying to figure out what the fuck was happening.
all of who's up stuff and your old stuff's back in the car with you.
Yeah, I saw that. I meant what happened. I was just trying to get a relapse in the past 2 or 3 days or so.
Oh,
I wasn't exactly aware of what was happening.
We've just been traveling. We still got a few more days before Nightbringer.
Well, at least it's uneventful.
As you've been going, there have been less and less battlefields.
That's good. Looking around some of the stuff.
Well-
I guess.
Nope, go ahead.
I assume roughly soon as shit, I see the shield, like, no, and not touching that. Ruffling through, find scale, point at it. What is this?
Close the
Thing
light.
came off the snake.
It's my treasure.
It glows lightly with a deep purple energy.
I
know that
killed
thing
it. This is mine.
Cursed?
You know
It
that
looks
thing?
cursed.
It-
Yeah.
You know the thing that the snake came out of when it got stabbed
Yeah.
in the first place? I'm pretty sure it's that.
Oh yeah, that's it. I'm sorry, my memories there were a little bit fuzzy. I was a little bit off.
I'm really hoping that if it breaks again, another snake doesn't pop back out with that same one.
What does our cool magic item do? Just spawn snakes that are hostile to you. Why'd you do this? Because I hate you.
They're hostile to
There's another one out. I'm dead.
they're hostile to everyone. Fuck everyone in this area.
We're running away.
Listen,
So
you're gonna give us this discount on the inn, or we're gonna release a giant snake.
And it'll destroy all of your friends and family.
Unmute your mic, Max.
Am I muted?
yeah,
It's
you've
fine.
been
we
muted
can
for a little
part
while.
We can kind of hear you through Matt's though, but
So we kept it. I don't know if it's healthy. The guy carrying it wasn't healthy. That's for sure.
You can try and take her war trophy away if you want to.
I'm not taking it. I'm safely staying out of its reach.
I think we should give it its own bag or box.
I have a bag for it.
That would be catastrophic.
I'm not muted. Can you hear me?
Can now.
But yeah, probably not a bad idea to separate it off from everything, at least a little bit.
Oh, Eric.
Yo.
At some point, could Stonewall have written to Mr. Filbert?
Okay.
So is it Filbert or Bilbert?
Filbert.
Filbert, yeah. Written to Magistrate. There we go. Written to Magistrate Filbert at some point of describing that.
Okay, that's very important information that you've just shared with him. Understood. Noted.
Of basically, hey, we were traveling and we found this.
What's your exact wording? Because this could make a difference.
About the travel or the encounter?
The description of the creature.
Go into as much detail as Stonewall can muster.
Okay. Noted.
Am I gonna have to change my name now?
Do you want to change your name? Ooh, I know.
Not really. It was my name still.
Why
But
would you
now
have to
you're-
change your name?
Because I'm not me, and people
Wait.
knew me.
Well,
Wait,
technically you are you. You just look
Wait.
funny.
I've got it. We separated. Before you were York the taller. Now you're York the shorter.
I look funny.
Why not just make it rhyme? The smaller.
No! You're just
His
bald
current
now.
body dysmorphia meter is just climbing the more you guys talk.
Yeah, you
You're
gotta
just bald now.
deal with that for a bit.
York, if it's any consolation, I think you look cool. The last lizard person I knew was a real great guy. Now you're the
Oh,
Like
second.
when you knew?
Become
What
the
happened
same.
to him? You said new. What happened to him?
A giant meat wad thing.
Just,
ate
just.
him.
I grabbed the amulet that was probably like tossed back here since it's useless. I just grabbed the amulet and I'm like, pushed it against my chest like. I
That's
don't
just
wanna
a
be
shattered
wizard
piece of
anymore.
glass. Roll a d4.
Oh, no, it's shattered. It's shattered.
Roll a
York.
d4. Take that much
Three.
damage.
3. Just, oh no! Don't do that. I don't want to be a lizard anymore.
York, you can look at it this way.
But the cool thing is, now you can shed your skin.
More of a snake thing, but also applies kind of, sort of.
York,
Lizards
you
shed
can
their
look at
skin.
Sanina says she saved you. You can view it as she cursed you.
You can do it as like that if you want to. Gods do also curse people.
Just looking at the two of you. My life was so much easier before I met you.
You chose to come with us.
I did.
My life was easier before parasitic brainworm things burned down my entire house, killed my family servants, and has forced me into this.
Accurate.
My life's just easy.
Accurate.
We're gonna have to unpack that later. I'm not in the right state of mind to.
Unpack which?
Probably both, honestly.
Look, I'll probably have an emotional breakdown at some point. This isn't that time.
Just cry, little pebbles.
That's fair.
I've got more room to build it up.
Breathing a little heavy right now. I'm just trying to process everything that just came through.
Hey York, do you have a calm spell of any kind?
No.
Oh,
No, I
I
don't.
was gonna say you could cast it on yourself.
If I had it, that'd be real nice. I don't have it, though.
Well, we don't have any tea, I don't think, on us. What?
Chamomile would be real nice right about now.
Pour
I'm
yourself
getting me a nice cup of it when we get there.
Pour yourself a cup of water. Press the digitate it like that. It's what we can do for now.
Janine says, I could calm you down.
No,
Well,
I
she's
scoot
like-
away. I start scooting away immediately.
I know something. Yeah.
I
Pour up
feel
some
like
water.
I am valid in that response.
York, pour up some water. Get yourself a cup.
Flavoring it like chamomile.
No. I've got something for you. It's a shame you can't. It's a shame you can't have the real thing, though. I'll prestidigitate his water to heat it up and taste like Saltmeyer's tea.
Okay.
Take a sip. Well, it's not chamomile, but it's tea. Sips again. I think you're okay for the moment. That was the big parts he wanted to hit up. Well, actually, is a question. So, just to bring it to attention, did you guys ever find anything else out about the little guy that had the scale before?
Oh no, he got blown the fuck up. I think he just straight up. I think he just straight up died when the snake appeared.
The implications his thoughts gave were there's more. Or at least there's somebody out there using it or more.
You know what works great against wizards? Trebuchets.
Accurate.
But we're not dealing with wizards, we're dealing with giant snake abominations.
And there might be a wizard controlling them. Which, if we go
tell
to
you what.
Nightbreak,
Or
might-
maybe there's a giant bird that is a natural enemy of the giant snake.
I was really hoping
And we
you were
just
going
need
to
to-
say wizard.
We
I was too.
we just need
You
to
had an
find,
opportunity.
we just need to find the giant bird, and we need to befriend the giant bird, and then the giant bird can kill the giant snakes for us.
I have a question.
To
How
who?
do we befriend this giant bird?
A giant worm?
I'm not collecting it.
Okay. Worm,
Bastard.
WYRM, that thing you just fought, kind of close to one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
An average size worm. Lots of them. Or,
Back to Stonewalls.
or,
You know, if it's a
or-
wizard, I'll make you a trebuchet. How's that?
or I can talk to it, and we can make a deal.
Go on.
How do you shake hands with it?
Hands, talon,
But if it's that big, how are you gonna shake hands with it?
hands, talon.
You're making gestures. Nobody else but me can see those gestures, just so you know.
But we know.
I'm explaining it to you.
Okay. Well, we might want to warn the town that something weird happened maybe when we get there. It seemed like it was headed this way, right?
it was going the opposite way. We kind of came across it. Or we can't. It was going towards us, and then we kind of stopped and
I
I
let it
thought
keep
it was
walking.
heading the direction we were going,
Correct.
and we caught up.
I don't remember that.
It was
Okay.
heading
Yeah,
eastward.
I was gonna say,
Same as you
it was
guys.
Okay,
heading the
we-
direction we went. We were just on
Yeah.
a cart and faster.
So if we see another freaky deaky person, we just leave them alone.
If we see another freaky deaky person,
Yeah, that
we
might be
have
an
to
idea.
I say we look at a map and see where they're going, if that's possible. Because that's going to be a
Get there
real
and tell
problem.
them load up all the trebuchets.
See that one
Ambulance,
gnome? Yeah, you see that one possessed gnome out there with the freaky box? Yeah, Trebuchet, that son of a bitch.
Don't touch him. He's freaky.
Okay, at this point in time, I think we should probably continue travel.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some more days pass just for the sake of it. I need to see if there's random encounters. Let's see
Eric,
here.
you
Max
hate me.
is playing God today, so Max, roll 2d12. Tell me what each one is.
If I get stabbed again,
I got a 9 and a 10.
All right. All right. You guys are in less war-torn Diakov, so there's more like people running around understanding things. As you're traveling along, you pass by a merchant cart. You can tell it is a merchant cart because
Merchant cart.
I don't know. You had to like go to ask, but you can tell that they just have a few donkeys and stuff like that, just kind of loaded up with various bits and bobs.
York,
it's bubbles.
I think I see a place where we can get you some new pants. Maybe.
I was thinking about it. Get a new shirt that fits, and maybe a jacket and some shoes.
Are the
Wait.
pants I fixed for you not good enough?
They are
Like actual full pants.
pretty well most of the way done. You've poured all your heart and soul into making them, and he's just like, but a
Sydney's
store.
just in the middle of finishing up the final touches, and she just looks up at him.
Do you live with only one pair of pants?
Yes,
And good for you. I don't.
I think he's a liar.
No, he actually had extra clothes in his bag.
Did he?
Yes. 'Cause he's a
doesn't.
reasonable person.
Sydney's nasty.
Just wave at them as as we start to get closer, like, hey, hey, you
Hey.
have clothes.
We have some clothes. Heading south to go trade. You can probably see if you want anything.
I'd like to buy some clothes. I've recently went through a size adjustment,
He lost some weight.
All
and I
right.
could use some new ones.
Well, it is the wartime. That makes sense. Here. Where the fuck are my clothes? This one. And he walks over to the donkey and kind of unhooks some of the packages and gets it on the ground. All right, you look to be about that tall. So, what are you looking for? I got your basic affair of stuff here. I probably can find a piece of armor that'll fit you if you want. But if you're just looking for standard small, like fuck, what's it called? There's a technical term for clothes you wear under armor.
Pantaloons?
No, those are like specifically underwear. I don't want to say underclothes because that's specifically underwear. But
I know what you're talking about, though.
you know what I mean.
He needs his
Petticoat?
undergarment.
Basic
I meant
garments.
to ask this: is my armor useless for me now?
Was it magical?
It was +1.
Then no. You just gotta like
Okay.
wait.
Fair. I just need some, for the moment, like an extra pair of simple, like, trousers and shorts and boots and a jacket.
We can do you for that. Like I said, it's not really anything fancy. It's more just worker stuff. So for the entire set, it'll only set you back.
Maybe a headband because my ears keep flopping in my eyes. And he looks frustrated with for a second.
We're going to Nightbringer. He doesn't need something too fancy. Well, we can fancy him up more there.
Fair. For everything, you look like a fine sort actually here. It's 1 gold.
I'll give them 2 because right now I'm in that mode of this is good. I hand it to him. I'll give him 2 gold.
Woohoo! 20 bucks.
We stopped them and pulled them out of their way.
What's the news of the area here?
News of the area. Commander Rockwell. Go on.
Any troubles to worry about coming from that way?
To the south and the east, there's been a lot in that region that we can't really deal with. Leading up to the actual, like, Sky Strike mountain range, it doesn't really work too well. They got the weird things over there. I'm heading south and westward myself.
All right. Which asshats or buttonheads this time?
The same ones that have been, those weird fucking and Commander Rockalo and his people, for the most part. The other ones are just miners, so they're basically just walling up and staying safe, or tossing in with one side, or I'm assuming getting coerced to the other.
Okay, so we don't have any big new major players on the board then, at the moment, at least. that you know
Nope. And the noble faction has still yet to move their asses from the goddamn mountain.
of. May have to head there, see how things go.
He'll just kind of shrug.
What else you got in your wares there?
For the most part, this is just general stuff from the area. Got a couple of jewel crafters, and Rockalo proper has these herbologists with them now, so they've got a lot of stuff going on with that. Nightbringer has some things that they've been making too, but it's mainly the same herbologist stuffed. So like, got a few potions that we've picked up along the way. Speaking of Nightbringer, they've got a proper hospital over there now, if you're in any need. It's been a lifesaver for those in the region.
Well,
I might need that.
yes.
Just imagine
Yeah.
going into the emergency room going, "What's your problem? I have a different color and size!"
Hey, now people can ask you to get mushrooms again.
I have not yet felt the urge to stab Stonewall. But it's building.
So
That
if
was
you need
Robert,
any
not Toad.
basic, like potion stuff, poisons, we got a little acid, things like that, we can probably set you up. Otherwise, we ain't really got much.
I think we should be good on that stuff then, unless they want some. There. Have a good berry for your travels.
Ah, thank you. Keeping the supply lines
Well,
moving.
While they're talking, I'm gonna pop to one of the other sides of our wagon, out of sight of them, so I have a little bit of privacy to change clothes.
Okay.
And while I'm doing so, when I'm changing the shirt, I'm gonna look down. Did the tattoo come with?
Oh, absolutely.
Just gonna stop, look at it, and just well, interesting times for interesting stories, and keep finish changing.
On the bright side, you're no longer having to worry about the psychic damage thing.
Oh, is that fully gone?
It's gone.
Okay.
The echoes aren't, but it's gone.
The echoes are still in the back of the brain.
The memories remain.
Probably a little bit louder right now than normal. Where did I write that shit down?
You are no longer resistant to charm. Sorry.
That's okay. I won't
No.
pop like a grape as soon as somebody breathes on me in Shadowblade, though.
Now the vampires will get him,
Possible.
and then
God
the
damn it.
vampires will have the trebuchets.
Shit, you're right. He could make like a really small one. Or
And
whenever
then
he
fling
gets
himself.
better.
Trebuchet still fucking hurts, too.
Yeah.
Make a ballista on a stack of bullets.
The problem is it deals a d6.
I know.
And goes
But they don't know that.
whatever the range of your illusion is.
But he
They
could
don't
make
know
trebu- but he could make one and catapult himself over a wall.
That may be possible because he acquires the momentum from. Yeah, that
Yeah,
clears.
exactly. That's why the siege engines would work still.
You just gotta have the
Real
necessary
bolts.
space.
And his second illusion, a glider, so he can just glide after launching himself into the air. Anyways,
I don't think any
Sorry, we're
illusions
kidding.
move that fast. Don't continue.
I think I'm good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
They get their little thing resituated and head on their way.
I have a jacket now. I have some standard clothes now. Try to make shit fit now.
Like you said, it's very much like worker stuff. So you're kind of dressed like a tropical farmer.
You know
But
what?
it's
It's
solid.
clothes that fit now, though.
Yeah. All right.
The pants are, notably for Sinine's sake here, rolled up and actually stowed in his pack still. Because unlike some weird monsters, he has more than one set of clothes.
I press the digitator sometimes in her sleep to get the stink away.
You
I
know,
was gonna
that
say,
makes
when was the
sense.
last time you seen her bathe?
The last time she was underwater
Yeah.
and then got shot with crossbows.
Yeah.
Get back to traveling. It's not.
Yeah.
I think that it's like another day before you guys actually come upon Nightbringer Hall. The area looks like it has undergone some general fortifications. It's notably not looking like it just underwent a siege, unlike the last time you guys were there. And you can see some taller buildings being like still partially under construction beyond its walls.
Well, it looks a bit better than it was before. So that's a plus.
Quite. Hmm. And
Well, I don't know about you, but I think I might go check myself into the hospital. Or at least to check up in a little bit. And
Probably
to find out my new bodily needs.
probably a good idea.
That's going to be an awkward conversation.
I'm gonna go find the man in charge and see what information we can trade.
If Max was speaking to me, she is muted. You
He
guys.
just says, "What is my dietary needs?
Oh,
What should I eat?" And they
Mealworms.
go, "What you been eating your whole life?"
More mealworms.
you guys get your way over to the gates. You get out. Guards, do your standard. Hold 2 goes there. Blah blah blah. You get out. Your little thing that says, "Hey, I was part of the team that got you guys liberated here. Personal friend of Vashnir's." And then they immediately let you guys inside.
I'm sitting quietly because I was not part of that team. Like, don't look at me, don't look at me.
It's okay, you have famous friends. Heading inside, there's the keep itself. There's what you would expect of a fortified town during a wartime situation. People training, people doing stuff. One of the newer buildings is a herbologist that I've forgotten the name of because I'm a terrible person. But you're all dimly aware that Uzat owns. And off to the other side, you can see a large hospital type building being constructed. Like it, for the timeline that they currently are and whatnot, they're doing a lot of work to ensure like clean rooms and stuff like that. So that entire area just has a bit of an air of a lot of care is being taken, but there's also a lot of wounded people over there.
Well, aside from getting yourself checked out, looks like you could also do some help over there.
Turn to look at him. I guess, maybe.
I'll be over there to help later.
I don't have a lot.
I have an idea. I can help cure a lot of people really quick, at least from wounds.
But remember, healing magic doesn't help mental trauma.
No, it doesn't. But gotta go find the man in charge, see if we could walk down there. And I can possibly heal some people while we talk, get multiple things done, unless it needs to be talked in some kind of private quarters.
Okay, I'm gonna go get a checkout. I don't know if I'm gonna get a spot though.
I'll just passing by at some guard, ask him who's in charge or who's in command here at the moment.
Basically, you get the idea that Vashnir's Castellan has taken command of the actual fortification itself, and his father sent one of his generals to actually like maintain the military forces.
And the military be in charge, so.
Yeah, but that's just normal for
Yep.
Diakov.
Yep. So Stonewall will go find Vashnir's general.
All right.
Or at least look for him.
You go over to the training grounds and just asking around, you're kind of sent toward a small building on the area. There's a dwarf sitting at a desk that's reading entirely too many papers.
You look like a man who could use a break from the bureaucracy to take a walk and talk.
Aye, but the last time I did that, we had to deal with another swarm of those goddamn monster worms. What you need?
Just Jackson Stonewall. We've,
Oh, shit. You're the bastard of Siegebreaker, aren't you? Good to meet you. Knew your father.
aye, give him a handshake.
He shakes your hand.
Any chance you know where he's gone to?
Negative. Once that fire was lost, we don't know anything.
Father of a bastard's hard to get a hold of.
Aye.
That being said, I will relay to him Snake that we encountered along the way and that it was heading towards here.
He'll just...
It was at least heading along. Yeah.
He'll just kind of look a bit dumbfounded for a while. And then kind of like retort with, did you see any evidence that it was the same weird goo things, or is this something else entirely?
No, they seem completely different.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Probably bad.
Awesome.
Do you think... is there anyone that you know of on the opposing sides that could do something like this?
Given that it seems that we're fighting goddamn aliens from the Forbidden Zone, I don't know.
Got any long-standing enemies in the area?
Any long-standing what?
Enemies?
Old enemies.
I know that's a long list.
Well, the problem is they're all enemies until they're not enemies. Feuds last too short. They don't ever actually end up wiping another house out. It just... They fight the fight. You know how it goes. If I had to assume, I'd say one of the minor lords down south probably found something they thought would augment their army. Made a deal with some idiots that were willing to deal with these things, and now it's gotten out of control. But the problem is, because it just looks like a bunch of dwarves fighting each other, the higher-ups won't do shit and the other countries don't care.
Well, it wasn't a dwarf holding that box.
Aye. So it's... If you didn't see any good things, it's probably not connected. You know anything else that might be all ghostly and weird like that?
All of those weird, explain the shadowy blob things along the way.
Yeah, dredges happen, but that's an awful fucking lot.
And where the box thing was, there wasn't... All the dredges were gone.
Okay.
Also, is there a way to get rid of those dredges? Maybe ease them in some way?
Normally just give them time. Basically, they last about as long as the emotion does in your average person. So after like a week or two, they normally disappear. That said, there's normally very few of them.
I spent a few hours burying bodies on a battlefield a ways back.
That won't really do much. Kind gesture, though.
Is there... Do you think Lord Rockhollow might have a better understanding of this matter at hand?
He may have slightly more information, or he may not. He's kind of very distracted, making sure that there are still people that don't have slugs in their heads.
It's a very good thing to be doing. I'm just trying to think of... You could just be right of someone found a thing and thought it might have been a good idea or made some kind of pact, but... The little guy holding the box seemed to be under some kind of mind control, so...
If you're thinking it's something else, then
I just don't have
I'm
any
thinking
place
it's
to
something
start.
else anyway.
Well, even if Lord Rockhollow can't give me much, he might be able to give me some kind of records to look through, or have someone with a big brain on the shoulders look
Some
through 'em.
sort of a something. I get you.
Well, if you need me, I'm gonna go heal some of your wounded men for a while.
He'll give a nod.
Don't know how long we'll be sticking around here.
He'll give a nod. It'll be good to have some people of your caliber around.
Listen, we got one guy who's going through some shit in the head right now, who's checking himself into the hospital. Kind of died. We brought him back. He's working that out.
That's dramatic.
Then we got someone else who might just make things worse for most of the soldiers.
Alright.
We'll try to make up for any trouble caused, but shit happens.
Alright, well, that bringer is open to you lot. You know, the agreement and your reward and all that.
Oh yes, can we secure some lodging at some point along the way
For
here
free.
the night?
Anywhere you
Yes.
want.
Okay.
While you're in this area, you guys are effectively lords, which means you do what you want.
I'm not going to tell them that.
That's fine.
Please don't tell them that also. They will abuse it.
Okay.
Yorick feels hurt for some reason.
Yorick's hurt for a lot of reasons.
Emotionally and physically.
And let's go leave him to his paperwork and let's just aura vitality for a while and just heal, basically.
As you're going around making sure these soldiers are having a good day, you feel a weight shift in your diplomat's pouch.
Ooh, a letter. I like these.
Pulling it out and checking it, you see in a very delicate hand a missive that reads, "Thank you for the information. That's a very interesting creature you have happened upon, and if there's anything additional you would like to share with it or found from it, I would like to know so."
I'll give him the full story.
Well, let's finish this thing. Additionally, I have done as your goblinoid companion has requested, and there has been an investigation in Raktesh about a necromancer of sorts. They have discovered tracings of it in some sort of a keep in the southeastern part of it, a little north of the Forbidden Zone. Apparently there's been villages disappearing, and these moats like dredges appearing and coalescing into large battle beasts. That is likely the thing that destroyed his town. If there is anything additional that you wish to share, or something that you believe that is worthy of a cost, simply note so, and I'll be sure to send a banknote your way that you can probably fill out and give to wherever the hell it is you would go that accepts banking stuff. Until then, keep up the good work. Sincerely, Philbert.
I will fill him in of anything left out, notify him where we are,
do you tell him of the scale itself that dropped afterward? Because that...
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, nope, just... At the moment, I am not withholding information from Filbert.
Alright, it's just you, as a character, would know that's probably real important. And this guy's kind of
Yeah.
skeevy.
Yeah, but... he's also a good source for us.
Okay,
Also, he had good alcohol and food
this is true.
and information.
Alrighty then.
He was also willing to talk the truth with us in a situation most would not.
Message sent. That information was coming one way or another. I really didn't mean it to look like Ex Machina. Oh, here it is. But, oh well.
York.
What have Senina and
York's
York
in-
been doing in the meantime?
I would say York was at the hospital. I don't know why he's calling for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
Let's
That's what say Stonewall at the hospital healing people takes that letter out.
well, let's play York first because there's some in between time.
You just
I don't know where Sanine's
Matt-
gonna go though.
you just let Matt know when he starts to hear someone shout for York.
Okay. Okay, York, you head over to the hospital. How do you want to explain this to the people that look at you and go, yes, what is matter?
I recently went through a traumatic magical experience. I thought it'd be good to get a bit of a checkup.
Can you define the magic? Like, did you explode? Did you turn into a toad?
That was part
and
of it.
now you're not one.
No.
Help us out here. There's a lot of magic.
There was a lot of lightning, and I no longer look like I used to.
I was gonna say you look very well, but it sounds like you've reincarnated, perhaps?
As you say as he's walking up, he's still like probably out of shape with his body a little bit.
Okay. So it looks like we have a reincarnate on our hands. Yeah, that should
I
work.
have no idea what I'm supposed to eat.
It will be well, you'll know soon enough here. I'll schedule you a meeting with a physical therapist. You can have a couple sessions, then you should hopefully pick it up quickly enough. Just wait about half an hour and they should come around. They've been kind of busy if you'll look around and see.
I can tell. That's why I was just asking. Oh, thank you. No, like quick words of advice. That works quite well, though.
Okay, just to check. Senina, anything? Why did I randomly type the number 76 in the Discord? I didn't do that. Weird.
Todd, it's Todd Howard. He's downloading Fallout onto your computer as we speak.
I did not agree to this, Mr. Howard.
He also took $60 out of your bank account.
No. My food money. Anything, Max?
Sanine's surprisingly gonna go take a shower.
Okay. You are able to find a rough equivalency of such. Without running water, it's a bit more difficult, but you manage.
She's gonna do it with her clothes on, so she can wash her clothes at the same time.
Okay. You are just a soapy mess. Understood. Yorick, you've been sitting in the office now for a little bit. You see some cases come in. It looks like people recovering and getting ready to head back out there and get ready to fight again. For the most part, just kind of like high priority, this way, that way, this way, that way. It's busy. And it's not too long, though, before you hear yourself being called for. By Jackson.
I sit there. Just like, do I say anything? I should say something. I wait for him, and I just kind of I'm looking over the crowd, realizing I can't look over the crowd anymore.
Standing on your tippy toes.
Even in Dwarfland.
Standing on a
fine.
chair.
Hey, don't.
I'm just gonna look up and just like silent image.
Stonewall's decently
like,
taller than the other dwarves, or at least a decent chunk of dwarves. He's kind of at that maximum height limit.
That's cool, but I still can't see that high. His angle will still cut your face off. For me.
That's fair.
Just gonna look up,
He's also-
grab like silent image and just put like an arrow up a little bit and just kind of like wave it back and forth. You might see like the tiny orange hand.
Ah, there you are. It's a lot harder to find you now.
Just realized I can't look for people now. How do you find people in a crowd? What is
Well,
this?
Normally I just shout for them and they come to me, or they used to be like you and I could see them, but... Anyways,
Need something?
I may have some information of where we may be heading next.
Okay.
So, remember how I said it might be wizards, and we might trebuchet them?
I'll read up on trebuchets.
Alright. Necromancers are a lot of times wizards. We should probably get some holy water and other things that can kill the undead too.
You know, looking dead in the eye. I am very useless against undead for the most part. I am almost entirely illusions.
Hey, they use their eyes too. When they have them. Otherwise, they just kind of see for reasons I don't quite understand.
They're too stupid to comprehend the illusion half the time.
We'll find something for you to do. Like, keep myself and Sanine alive.
That was kind of the plan. That's kind of why I was reverted to during the snake. I'm still waiting to get in, just to say. So I don't know if you have something you're waiting on to do or any of that, but I don't know if you need to wait. Want to wait here?
Oh, I was gonna let you get your full rest, get your tip-top shape. Sanina too.
I don't know where she is.
Camera flashes over.
Kinda
She's just
wandered
like
off.
picking up a bucket, putting it on her head, pouring it out over her head.
She'll be fine. But you can stay wherever you want to lodge. Just tell them you're with Stonewall, and they should let you in.
Okay,
Unless they'll probably
I
keep
can
you
do
here.
that.
They'll probably keep you.
I don't know. They look kind of busy. They might just give me some like rundowns on stuff from it. You know, it sounded like my problem's not as uncommon as I thought it was.
His magic world.
Plenty of those necklaces are going around somewhere. Probably.
So I'm just kind of waiting on them to get a bit of a rundown.
Alright. Well, once we get you back up and ready, we're gonna be heading southeast, it seems.
Then we can, yeah, like a little bit later on, maybe we can grab Sanine and we can all sit down and have just a bit of a chat about the information you said you got and see what all we're
Yes.
doing with it.
I'll see what we can do of getting ourselves armed up some. But, yeah. So we may be going towards the Forbidden Zone, right around the borders there, killing a necromancer, that type of stuff.
Oh, we should probably sort the stuff out tonight.
Yes, that too. Wait,
Just to
you
get
two
it wrapped up.
You two didn't do that in the back of the cart.
I'm sorry, I spent the last several days processing what happened and trying to figure out how to use my body.
No, that's fair. What's it like having a tail?
I don't know half the time. I forget about it until I trip over it, usually. And now that I've thought about it, I'm worried about shutting in a door now. That's a new fear I never thought I'd have.
As
But
he's
we're here
talking,
now.
you just see the tail like lightly, like moving to one way or the other, almost like emoting as if he was talking with his hands or portions of it.
So he's
Obviously
gesturing with
not
his hands like he normally does.
under his control.
The tail's helping as
Yes.
well.
Yes,
Oh,
correct.
look, it moves with your anxiety.
Look back at it.
Now you feel self-conscious and don't know what to do about it.
I just kind of like grab it and like just like lift the jacket and like pull it up and wrap it in the jacket.
Like whenever you
So
realize
it's
that your
wrapped
foot,
around like a belt under my jacket.
but it's the same sensation as like whenever your foot's bouncing and you didn't know that it was, and then you notice it and you go, oh, well, I don't know what to do now.
Wait. I have an idea. Alright. We're probably gonna spiffy you up some at some point, right? Get you some better clothing, better gear.
Maybe you want to figure a little bit of this out.
Look, we got resources here. Filbert said we could get a blank check, basically, if we need it.
Hmm.
What works?
You're talking to Filbert.
Yes. What
Hmm.
works good? What works good against the undead? I was hoping you'd respond.
What works good? I was just trying to think of like I was gonna say like what would I know about the undead? Like what works good against them?
By and large,
Okay.
Radiant do real good. It seemed that Uzat's
Yeah.
knife was fucking top tier. I don't know, like they probably don't care about their feelings being hurt too much. But
We're gonna
they may.
get you some.
Yeah.
We could try and get some cold iron and silver.
I don't know how much that'll help, but like, holier or like more radiant, like spells and effects. Definitely we should give Sanine Uzat's knife. That seems things to take undead personally.
Yeah, she'll stab him good with that.
But don't try any of like our nudge trickery or like mind effects. I
Max
don't know
okay
if they
back
have
there?
emotions. What? She's just sitting there.
Something was picking up.
She's just sitting there.
She may have the sniffles.
Oh, the cat.
Or maybe I was taking a drink.
Oh no, no, you mean she's just sitting there? Okay, yeah. But,
Noise through from.
we can talk about that a bit more later. Oh no, I think it's kind of weird. I feel like it's safe to say don't use like any necrosis-based anything.
Okay. A lot of what I was asking there was rhetorical. What I meant was, we've got a blank check. We can go get ourselves geared out with anti-undead stuff.
So long as you have access to a bank.
I'm pretty sure if we get.
Now
to
you'll be
Lord
fine
Stone-
here, but like, depending on where you go, you may or may not.
That's true, but we'll probably stop. By Lord Rock Hollow and the bigger armory access somewhere along the way and see what we can do there.
Fair.
Well, you mentioned wanting to heal stuff, so why don't you can. I'm gonna sit here and wait for my appointment. If you want to you can do that. You don't seem to like to be the time to like sit and wait much.
Actually, what I was just gonna use all of my spells and then go back to reading my book.
That's not a bad one.
That's what I got for the day, Eric. Just
Okie dokie.
use up spells to heal the wounded around and.
The people
Then
not
go
in
sit-
intensive care, thank you. The people in intensive care would thank you, but they're in intensive care.
Yeah, no, let's start with the people that are most dire.
All right. Not too long before a doctor type person comes along and interacts with you, York. Basically, you get the rundown. They have you they tell you about a couple exercises that should help you kind of familiarize yourself with, your new appendages and stuff. And they do kind of point out that now you have a bit pointier teeth. So try not to grab things for your dietary stuff that require too much of like the grinding type.
As soon as they said that, it was like open the mouth and just like oh yep, sharp. Okay, that's new. What? So a lot of meats. A lot of meats.
He's been
Okay.
living off good berries for 2 weeks.
And they do the job, but
Okay. Anything else I should be wary of? Or I don't really know much about. I'll figure it out. You know what? No, it's okay. I'll figure it out. You guys got a lot to do. Okay.
okay.
I'm gonna go find Stone. I'm gonna find Jackson afterwards.
You have your regimen to help you familiarize yourself with yourself.
Considering the situation, pretty useful to have.
Going around trying to find Jackson later, and probably even Sanina. You guys have anywhere you want to go. Like, if you want to go to the tavern and get rooms there, they will be allowed. If you want to head to the keep and get, like, a stateroom, you can do that. Whatever.
I don't know about all of you, but I'd like kind of a nicer room for a little bit if we're gonna be going into this again.
Oh yeah, Selena. We're back. Now that we're back together again here. Yeah. So once we get all rested up here, a few days, we're gonna be heading southeast. It seems. First, we're gonna stop.
Why don't we get a room before we keep going along our plans?
And
I
probably
figured this was.
inventory.
I figured this was like getting the room area going towards it. That type deal.
Heading into the keep itself, it has been fixed since last you were in here. And talk to people. They kind of lead you down a hallway into rooms that are there for guests. Going inside, these places are nice. Like, it feels like you're living in a
I
faith
didn't-
system, and these are for the upper class.
I didn't know the rooms were this nice here. I look down at my clothes and look back around me. I don't feel like I belong anymore.
You guys can either have one
Okay,
room
it's
to
quiet.
yourselves, or you can share if you really want to, but you don't have to. Not a lot of foreign dignitaries here at the moment.
You know what? That's fair. You know, we go out and get this chance. We'll pile in for shit later on. Why don't we just all get our own room?
I planned on it.
Do you guys want to inventory before I fast forward to the next day? Because there's nothing going
figured
to
this.
happen during the night.
I was gonna talk to Sanina about the stuff, see what she had to say.
By all means.
Split this stuff up and talk about plans, maybe?
Talk first, Matt. Just kind of compile your list and get ready.
I'm as ready as I can be.
Fair. This is
There's only so
enough.
much I can do to prepare for that brick.
Sanina, seems like we have word of what might be causing some of this situation. Don't know anything more about the snake at the moment, but seems to be some kind of necromancer down south that was raising these kind of things. It might be the source of what Uzat had talked about, where the shadowy blob beast came together and killed most of his town and ravaged that landscape area. So, yeah, time to kill a necromancer. Unless they're undead, and then I guess it's rekill.
He says that so casually.
I don't know what the proper terminology for that is. Let's go with slay. Yeah, we'll go with slay.
Can a necromancer bring itself?
Max, you're muted.
What?
No, you're not.
You
I
keep
wasn't before.
No, she keeps pushing her headphone piece back all the way up, away from her mouth.
Well, they can't pick you up there.
But yeah, got a necromancer to kill. Probably should slay those beasts. Don't know if they'll stop if we kill the necromancer. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. We'll have to figure things out as we go. But figure we stop by see Lord Rock Hollow first, get more information. Gather what supplies we can. We might have a blank check at the capital there. Or not the capital, but Eric.
Stronghold,
Rock
keep, whatever you want to call it. Town,
Upper-
city.
Yeah. Whatever the actual place of the Rock Hollow is.
Fucking fortress.
Yeah. The Rock Hollow capital, whatever the fuck it is. But so we can get ourselves pimped out some in gear that should be effective against the undead. Hopefully.
I have a question I'd like to raise here. Stonewall, why did you go
Yes.
right back to Filbert with this information?
Because he has a lot of information and could tell us stuff about it.
Yeah, but don't you think that might come back to bite us in the ass?
Depends.
He's literally admitted to being participating in something that would have his country eradicated from the map.
Yes.
He has a point. Why did you tell?
Or at least ask before you tell, or talk about it before we tell, like what we should tell him. That's not a person we want to get mixed up with.
We're
I don't
already
think-
mixed.
Yeah, I know. We didn't do it necessarily out of choice, like out of good choices there. Let's not drag him into this when we can avoid it or be under his thumb. And
Look, I was trying to trade as much information as we can out of this. It's why we know where we're going next.
yeah, maybe just try to put it in there, a warning for the future, though. Because I don't trust him at all. And we're betting our lives now on information he's given us.
Turned out fine before. Also, you were kind of curled up in a ball, and Sanina was there kind of ready to poke you with a stick at any second.
Okay, yeah.
And
Oh, I know. I'm just trying to raise a point of that might not be our best strategy in the future to go right to him. What all did you tell him?
told him, killed a snake, got the scale thing, was it a halfling or no?
Halfling.
Told him about the halfling that was walking along the road all mind possessed.
So we went to the man. We know he's collecting materials that would be very good for making an army. And told him about something that made this?
Look, if he wants to come get it,
He won't get it. He'll send somebody else.
Yeah, some shadowy gnome is going to take it out of Sina's pack in the middle of the night and it'll just be gone.
Oh, I don't see this ending great.
Did you see this ending great from the start?
I saw that ending better when we didn't have the dawn confetti of fucking the gnomes after us.
Dawn confetti?
I don't know. My mind went to dawn confetti. I think I
Dawn
heard it
confetti.
recently and it's in my head. I don't know.
Eric,
Just making sure I heard that right.
You heard it right. Don't question what my brain is spewing out. I don't know either.
That sounded painful.
Hey.
What?
hang on. No, I don't know if it's okay to say on stream. Never mind. I'll just type it out.
That's just something I think we should consider in the future, not just going to him with all of our information.
Fair enough. Should have consulted you guys about it first.
It feels like a good way to be on a short list to a more permanent residence in the ground.
I would avoid that particular phrasing because there's really only one way that can be taken.
Yeah.
Unless a necromancer digs you back up.
Yeah.
So we're heading to the south to deal with this now?
specifically the south of Raktesh, which to your current location is basically east-southeast.
Okay, so we're heading southeast.
Heading more east than south.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Would this be close to a hometown that I'm aware of?
I don't know where your hometown is. I hadn't tossed a dart at the map yet.
That's
It
fair.
can't
But
be
if you
so-
want to make a diversion or plan the path accordingly, then it absolutely can be, because you have to go
That's
a
fair.
lot east.
Yeah, that's fair. Just like contemplating in his brain that this is in Raktesh and that's where his hometown is. So these little thoughts. Maybe not yet. I don't think he has the confidence to head back yet now.
So, anything else? Anything else we need to talk about here?
He's gonna point to the sack that you guys probably mostly drug up, because he is absolutely useless on moving stuff now.
Oh yeah, that. So we're in agreement. Sanine gets the dagger. Yes.
I don't think either of us use the stabby stab enough to use the dagger well.
I mean, I can stab, but
You can, but do you normally?
I'd rather just use magic.
Alright, so we've already seen her kill at least one of them with the dagger. So I think Sanine, you want the dagger?
I mean, sure.
Please make sure, for the love of everything, that wherever it is you're keeping the inventory here, it gets saved after someone takes something. Because if anything is lost now, it's gone forever.
I've got 3 names on my sheet for Sanine, Yorick, and Stonewall. I mean Jackson there, so I'm
Okay.
tracking where stuff's going. So dagger.
I'll probably
There's
just
like
give some
little-
dirty, quick this or that if I remember the mechanics. If I don't, I think you have most of them, Matt. If you
I
want
have
to
most.
offer them up to the person that gets it, just so that I don't have to say it again, and you don't have to say it again.
Dagger. So dagger, you get double proficiency to hit, and you get your proficiency added to damage.
Its magical bonus is equal to the proficiency bonus of the wielder. Yes.
Yes. There's just a little band on it. I don't know what it does entirely, but I think Uzat put it on here. It might work with it pretty well.
You do know what that does
Yep.
unattuned.
Oh, unattuned, yeah, that's fair. Unattuned take. I was watching during the fight. It's like he would chuck it and it would just back to him.
At the end of a
So, I mean,
at the end of the turn.
well, yeah, I was just telling her what it did.
I know
in
it's an
character stuff.
important specification.
So it's kind of hard to lose. Makes it come back easy. That's always useful. I feel like there's something to it, but he was kind of busy between a lot of items there. I just put forth the idea that we're all in agreement of that shield needs to be.
I think that's
None
a
of us are
conversation
using
in and
it,
of
right?
itself.
We'll get to the magic people in the morning to see if they can do anything about it.
Hold on, I'm going through his list right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the topic of the dead Uzat, I'll write to whoever the landowner was supposed to technically be in that case about Uzat's death.
That's Vashnir.
Oh, then I'll write to Vashnir about Uzat's death.
You can send him that message, and at the end of the session, the timelines will be synced.
There we go. So he got his fancy shield. His blight steel shield, I mean by that, not his straight up cursed thing. Just it both magical cursed and ideas and functionality. Fully cursed.
His name is just kind of looming, transcribed on it. The only name
he's
on
got
it.
I pull out another one, like that purplish steel. He's got this shield, fancy one, nice one. I guess it's really only if you want a stone wall. Otherwise, we're probably just selling it.
Got a magic shield. That thing will probably sell for more.
Potions of water breathing, potions of alter self.
I can hold on to the most things if I'm just gonna hold on until we need them.
Fair. All right,
How
you
many?
kind of carry the most. 2 potions of water breathing, 1 potion of alter self.
All right.
Okay, I'm writing these down too as we go, so we have an idea later in case something happens.
Oh,
A bunch of serpent scales, which probably goes back to you. A lot of serpent teeth. But the next one that's probably decaying by now was the shock sack, I think, from the giant snake.
Teeth don't decay.
no, that was from the
No, I'm
sea
referring
serpent.
to the sack.
Okay.
Yeah, the giant snake thing. That's what I'm
Oh,
referring to it as.
Well,
oh,
not
he
the
should have
new
had
snake,
I realize
the
I need to be
underwater
more
snake.
specific. Yeah, the underwater snake. So I think it's probably slightly decaying now.
Probably not the
Oh, he
greatest.
should have had something. Should have had something done with that when we were back there.
Yeah. So this is kind of gone now. The fancy whip, which I probably think I don't know who would use this best. None of us really stick close and stay in close combat with anything. How about we just shelve this one for the moment in case we need it later?
I'll write it down then. Actually, yeah, I'll write it on my inventory just if we get separated since I'm carrying shit.
And it's 3 stones. Which we have a carrier case thing for now. Buzzsaw dagger. Who wants a buzzsaw dagger?
I'm good. I have lots of daggers.
That's fair. You know
Do
what?
you want to?
I was gonna say
We
I'll
might-
pocket it. It's good for cutting stuff.
We might need that later.
I might just use it. Yeah, I don't know if I'll use it much for fighting actually, but you know, it seems like a really good cutting tool. Next up is the shield, which is a whole conversation in and of itself. You're right. Gonna kind of
Can we
scoot
just
that to
put
the side for a minute with a stick.
Just gonna put a pillowcase over it.
Spell storing ring.
Yeah, that's mine. I'll take that back unless someone else wants to hold on to it. I gotta recharge it though.
Okay. These 3 little figures, which I believe I saw them toss out, that turn into stuff. There's a lion, a dog, and a raven. Does anybody want one? They turn into like bigger forms of themselves. But you can only use them like once every so often.
Mm,
I'm
Feels like
okay.
a U item.
Do what?
Feels like a U item.
That's fair. I'll write them down. Just a extra fancy tag. You know, I'm gonna give this one to you, City, just because, you know, you never really can have too many daggers when you chuck them like crazy.
True.
It's just a +1 dagger.
Okay.
Added to the collection.
That's what I was thinking, is like, you know what, you can never give your rogue too many daggers, can you?
I need these for reasons.
like what?
Now we
Use a
hit the
fucking
strange one as I
crossbow,
pull
fuck
out
you.
the... Yeah. Now we hit the strange one as I pull out the mirrored necklace.
What does that thing give a moo?
I look at it. I don't know. As I'm
Looking at
looking
anything
at
in
it.
particular?
I mean, I'm looking at it, so I probably see myself or anything around me as I tilt it around some.
For yourself, you don't really see anything too weird. The reincarnate wasn't botched, so half your soul isn't leaking out your body. Otherwise, that'd be horrible.
That's terrifying.
Looking it over at other stuff, it does kind of like scrape the edge of where the pillowcase is, where you see what appears to be an older goblin, just kind of in mourning over the area.
I freeze for a moment. I look over at it without the beard.
Nothing.
Guys, I see dead people.
We saw a lot of those on the way over.
I show them the mirror and the reflection.
There's a goblin lady just
Mhm.
being dead, it looks like.
So, who's
I tilted over at the scale.
You look over at that. Okay. How do I describe as much as possible by saying as little as possible?
I feel like I've made a mistake.
No, you have not. Okay.
Snake?
Looking at it through this thing, you know how it normally sits with like a hard outside. It's scale-like, right? Basically, for your eyes, you kind of see through the hard layer into the stuff underneath, which is more like a whirling vortex of an energy of some type and an extremely powerful aura just around this thing. That is either a heart or a soul or a something, but it means business. I know you're there, cat. You're not allowed in here. You talk too much.
You got a cat?
Yes, I have a cat.
Since when?
Forever.
So it's still there.
Okay, let me put it this way. You don't see any of the darkness that was all-encompassing of the creature whenever you fought it.
Okay.
You
Darkness
just
is
see
gone
the deep purple. You don't see, like, the necrotic black, whatever the fuck was going on.
It's just a purple haze.
Okay. So that stake still has a lot of stuff to it. There's a lot of juju to that. You know what? Let's shelf that one till last as well. I got
We
some
all
extra
know what's
healing
going to
potions in
send
here. It might be. I don't know.
Spread those about evenly.
There's 5 of them. There's only 5, so kind of hard to do even.
I've got a lot. You two can take 2 and I'll take 1.
I'll give Senine 3. I'll take 2 because I know she's used some up, and I haven't hardly used any.
And Jackson gets none.
He just said he didn't want any.
He was gonna take
I
one.
said you two could have 2. That's not what I said, but I still have 12.
What do I get?
Questions?
Oh yes, my hoarding continues.
Hey, potions are good to hoard.
Yeah.
Because then you sit
You
there
never
and
know
you go,
when you
"Ooh."
need to be like on the run, chugging 5 in a row.
Touche.
And I guess this actually makes sense why I fixed it. This bag is a bit bigger on the inside than the outside. It's a handy haversack.
So that sounds like I'll just be shoving a lot of this shit back in it to carry it.
That might not be a bad idea. Not at all. What do we want to do with this money?
Split it between the 3 of us.
Should we give any of it to his store?
His store is probably just getting retaken back and given a new owner.
Fair. I'll math that out. Again, I'll math that out in a few minutes and just split it between everybody then. So, what do we want to do about the
Sorry,
shield and the
Medina,
scale?
No money for you.
Like he needs it.
Comparatively, you guys are so much richer than the other group. Orders
That's
of
'cause
magnitude.
That's because they spent it all on very good stuff while we
Yes.
got our one good thing from Filbert.
And you guys have also just been paid more.
That's because we did money paying quest, whereas they've been flying under carpet.
They got the fuck out of there as soon as possible. You guys took advantage of it. Sorry to distract. Continue.
It's all good.
Slap that money into a calculator for a 3-way split.
All right. Everybody gets 152. No, not 152. Everybody gets another 1,552 gold.
Yeah.
Gosh.
You guys are loaded.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. I literally just made back that whole sword I just purchased. Two plus. So again, we're back to the question of what do we want to do with the shield? Let's start there. That looks like it literally has him in it.
Maybe we can get him out.
I'm not
We'll go
saying
consult.
no. I'm just like, how?
We'll take it by the magic people in the morning.
We just kind of want to leave it here with them because, no offense, I don't know if we're going to do anything with it. I don't want to touch it. It ate him.
I also don't want to touch it.
We'll talk with the magic people in the morning about it.
Okay, last order of business then, since that's what we're doing with it. The scales there. It's not evil or dark looking anymore. Or, well, it's dark purple. But it's not like that blackish creepy anymore. But it's still there.
Pretty badass war trophy for Zanine. That being said, if it breaks again, we don't know
Are
what
you
happens.
holding it?
That's a loaded question, I feel like.
Are you holding it? Has anyone held it?
I'm gonna roll a die.
Someone had to pick it up to take it out of a bag to sort it.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that was more of like in the heat of the moment.
I
So you need to
touched
just oof, whoop, whoop.
I picked it up.
I say he's.
I
I mean,
habit. I'm just
he's
sorting
the one-
shit right now, so
yes, he's the one that's taking up stuff and sorting it out. So it's,
Okay.
just like I'm like leaning all the way into the bag. My whole upper torso is gone, and then just like here.
As you're holding
no.
it, or at least
Oh,
it's
no.
brushing your hand, you feel like a very slight tingle from it. Almost as though, like, if you've ever been near something that had a lot of electricity running through it. It doesn't hurt you. It just... There's a slight response to someone actually
Drop it.
interacting with it. Okay.
I dropped it.
It's on the
I'm not
ground.
gonna lie. I probably drop it like yeah, drop back up. So
Now it's sad.
it responded. Yeah, you know, there's some stuff in it still. It seems like I said, could be badass sport trophy for Sanine. I feel like there might be a bit more to it than a trophy, though.
I have an idea.
Huh?
I want to touch it.
Okay, you pick it up, same sensation.
But before I touch it, I'm gonna de-stone skin and try to do like I did when I turned blue. And see if that does anything.
Alright, you try to, utilizing your earth-like powers, absorb some sort of essence from it. No. As a matter of fact, you kind of feel it violently repulse you.
Well, nope, not the same thing.
There's no actual damage, but you kind of got the feeling of, I shouldn't try that again.
I'll have to find some other magic rock to try that with.
Well, we've all touched it now. What about you, Sanine?
I'm okay.
You don't want to look at your war trophy?
You
It didn't
did earn it.
hurt. It just startled me a little bit.
I don't think I want to touch it.
Hmm.
This is where I tell you I took the identify spell on my level up.
Go ahead.
I'm kind of scared to after this, though.
Well, if we keep it with us, some powerful jackass is probably going to come looking for it, because, you know, they had that halfling under their mind control or whatever that was.
Oh no, I don't have identify. Never mind. Missed that.
Or-
Misremembered.
Don't even have it for just like your bard things. I mean, hell, I'd let you have it just for this scenario alone, then you can change your spell tomorrow.
Okay.
Or
I
there's
just
also the
think
case. There's also the case of we could leave it somewhere where it could be very protected and hope that that works out.
All right.
We
I'm
also
gonna
have
be an
to look at
ass
it.
here. When
We
does
also have
that ever work?
That's why I said that. Questionably.
Put it
We also
directly
have
on
throwing
top of Parallax.
We also have it. We also have throwing it into the bag.
You know what? That's a fair swap because we're dealing with undead.
So what you're saying is we need to get into green spandex?
I will take a moment to cast Identify on it. It's like, before we go much farther, I
Okay.
kind of have a lot of information to pull from now for things, even if I'm hesitant to do so most days.
All right. For this thing, you're not getting an item description. For
That's
this
fair.
thing, I'm going to give you sensations.
That's terrifying.
You get the sensation of creation, of purpose, of combat, of something unexpected, something that changed the game. And in the process of that, a containment of sorts. Once that happens, after that, you get the idea of abandonment, numbness, sleep, awakening fear, and then numbness, but not of sleep, of inactivity. This is something forcing it upon it. And then an influx of hatred, of fear, of negative emotions until eventually it was overpowered and lost. Some time passes. There's an awakening again, this one violent, this one tinged by all the things forcefully thrust upon it. That ending, and now being alone again. And you come out of it. Matt?
Guys, I think it's alive.
So,
I think it's alive.
so the snake spirit thingy went back into its thing like it was before.
Yeah, I think it did. But it's not like it was before.
How
It's
so?
different now. Like, somewhere that was. Ooh, that's not how I thought that was going to work at all. I hope now other items aren't like that.
Well, you're for step one, finding another item like this, find something of this caliber.
I know, I meant other items in general.
Step 2, kaiju fight.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't. I don't know how to. I think it was like its life almost, like a roller coaster. Like its emotions, its feelings. It wasn't always there. Something. If I'm right, something trapped it and then started forcing negative emotions upon it. Or, well, that's not quite right. It was trapped and then it was lost, and then it was asleep, and then it woke in fear, and then, like, forced a numbness, and then just negativity constantly. Until it, like, overwhelmed, and then it woke up in that tinge, that, like that violence, and now it just feels lonely. But it
How
doesn't
about you
feel corrupted anymore.
How about you try doing some mind magic and talking to it in its head?
You know, that's a good question. Good idea. I'll cast Detect Thoughts.
You cast Detect Thoughts. Get nothing back.
Now, I know normally it's the pry for delving more, but if I actively try to delve
You
towards it
may.
some, do I get anything?
You may try to. You got nothing at the surface, so it
I know,
doesn't
that's
bode
what I'm
well.
just... Yeah, I know it doesn't bode well, but I'm just trying.
If you try, I'm not gonna roll dice. No, there's no save necessary. No.
Okay. The only other thing I could think of is maybe sending towards it or message towards it. Well, no, I don't think message works. There's sending, but otherwise, I don't know what's gonna reply if it doesn't have thoughts.
Try it anyways. Got spell slots to burn.
I suppose I'll try sending towards it, but just like, hello, hello, can you hear me?
No response.
Okay. If it
Alright.
can, it's not saying anything.
I'll give it a try.
Oh no.
Polymorph?
No save required. The answer is no.
Oh,
Okay,
that didn't
maybe
work.
alive isn't quite the right term. I don't know. It just seems to be there still.
Maybe it's some kind of spirit or soul or something shoved in there. Or something along the elemental kin, which work different than the normal human souls, which
Just
that is a lot of dry reading.
It feels like something we kind of have to maybe look into as we travel.
I'll. I doubt this too much. I can find out it here, but maybe when we get a bit further, when we actually get to Eric. What was you gave it a
Rock Hollow?
name,
Rock Hollow?
yeah, but wasn't there something else aside from the name attached with it?
Define. What specifically are
Didn't
you
you
asking about?
like the main Rock Hollow Keep areas? Was it just Rock Hollow Keep?
Yeah, that's just Rock Hollow Keep.
Yeah.
Because you guys are currently in Diakov. Rock Hollow Keep is the keep for the lands under the control of.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe Rock Hollow Keep will have some kind of thing on it or something relative we can use for it.
Sanina, are you
Okay.
sure you don't want to touch it?
Max?
I don't want to touch it.
Okay.
Eric. Map-wise, we go in the opposite direction of Father Jack and Mother Stonewall, yes.
Map-wise, you guys are already way north of where those are.
Yeah, figured. And we're just going other direct. We're kind of going askew to the east off of that.
Right now you have to head a bit westward to actually go to Rock Hollow. And then you go eastward to the other place.
Either way, we're not going through that area of the woods.
No.
For either of their locations of question.
No.
Then again, one of those locations of questions is basically, yes, this forest area in Diakov.
Somewhere in the plains. Rakesh. Isn't that area mostly plains? Yes.
Well, I think that's everything. There's like a collection of normal equipment I don't think any of us are going to use.
Sell it, or we could probably sell it off, or give it to some of the men who could use it.
We're going to I think we should keep the acid vials, but just say we put them back in the box.
Yes, we'll keep the acid.
I mean, not in the box, in the sack.
How much more acid is there now?
5 more.
Where is my acid count? There we go. Back to double digits acid.
That's yeah, that's everything. Oh shit! While I'm at it, can I see what the band does fully?
If you would do it.
Identify.
Oh, identify? Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Basically, well, A, it lets you utilize the maximum range of any given throwable weapon without, like, disadvantage or anything like that. Additionally, once it is fully attuned to, you may count that as a technical melee attack. With all the good stuff that melee has with it, such as channeling through things and things like that.
If only Rain had equipped to it, he could have thrown Smite like he wanted to.
He could extra attack with it, because that also causes it to come back on each attack and basically just act like a horrible little missile.
Well, that's what the band does if you attune to it. If you don't attune to it, it's just maximum range and teleport back.
Now, mechanically, if you do that even with just like Senina and activate her crystal thing, the same thing applies.
The crystal just sits on the dagger and ping, 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 ping.
And because it's never technically, because it's still making melee attacks, it's still channeling. That's basically what this thing does, allow things to channel at a range.
That's pretty useful.
How's Yorick's attunement looking?
I have 2 things attuned.
I'm sorry I have to do this just for the sake of otherwise nothing, it won't work. As you are putting everything away, the scale is still fucking weird, and you drop it. It bounces and it lands on Senina's foot, where it then where it then proceeds to give off sparks in a small area around it. Senina, you feel no pain from this whatsoever.
Good.
As a matter of fact, it feels slightly warm, but not like in a bad way.
Huh. Interesting.
It's just gonna sit on your foot till you do something about it.
Well, if it feels good.
All right.
Please take the DM storytelling.
Just gonna let the emotions roll.
Yeah.
Just sitting there like, just like fucking jumped. What the fuck?
Maybe it likes her.
It doesn't hurt.
If it was under some kind of dark influence or something of that kind, she'd technically be the one that freed it.
This is true.
Are you a pet?
It just sparks.
Can I speak to it?
Do you pick it up?
Is it just constantly sparking while it's touching her?
Basically, it's like, Matt, you know how you saw like the aura thing before with it?
Yeah.
It's basically just like emitting small little ethereal sparks lightly out to that distance.
If I turn the mirror on it, is it doing anything different right now?
Yes, as a matter of fact. You can see it kind of, well, the energy inside, it's much more like focused.
I think it's aware of you.
Is it an animal?
I don't know if animal's the right term for it. I don't know.
Can I try speak with animal?
You may try whatever you like.
I will try speak with animal.
You speak
Do
in.
you understand me?
There is no response.
Not an animal.
I don't know if I should touch it anymore.
I say it goes with her.
It seems to definitely be leaning towards you there.
I didn't want to do that,
Are
but
you
this one's hers.
evil?
Like I said, if it helps any, it doesn't look like it's got that tinge to it that made it like dark and blacky and inky earlier. It's seems okay. Or better.
I have an idea. Senina, let me see it for just a moment, please.
Okay.
I will put it in the pillowcase with a pillow that's there,
Okay.
and then give her the pillow. Maybe it'll do some. Maybe it'll do some kind of dream speaking to you. If not, it's nicer to carry around a pillow than a rocky, staticky scale thing.
Well, Sanina's holding this. If it was still going to be putting out the little statical things, then it should still be doing so, but you don't see any. So you can likely assume that if it were to go, say, in a pocket, then there wouldn't be a constant effect over everyone. I'm reaching a bit, but I've been working with
It's
what I have.
it's the more direct contact bit that does it.
It's
Can I
more
put it in
it
a
being
backpack?
out.
Okay.
You mean you don't want to ruin the rogue stealth permanently with having ethereal electrical sparkles about?
That would just be rude, and I would constantly have to ask you guys what the fuck all the sparking was. And I don't want to do that.
Literally everywhere we go, what the fuck is that?
It would be part of it to where, okay, they begin the standard, what the hell is that, blah blah, and then I'd have to say that so
Like
many
every time
times.
someone looks at a Kim.
What the fuck is that?
It's
Yeah,
good.
blah blah blah. We know.
Yeah. So I mean, don't want to push, but I don't think that it's gonna do anything for us.
Maybe push a little.
Well, I'm talking to Cindy. Like, I don't think it's gonna do anything for like us, like me and Stonewall. It seems rather set. And if I've heard anything, I don't want to see its temper tantrum. If that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense.
Its last one was kind of rough.
Understandable. He's mine.
So yeah, we're gonna do that with you. So in the morning, stop by the magical place, drop the shield off, see if they can figure something out for that. Because I think that's a little out of our range here.
You want the ring of spell storing?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I can pack a bit more healing in it. So we have a bit more throughout the day.
I could pack something else in there if you'd like as well.
We could talk about that later. For now, I think we should... I don't know about all of you, but I'm a little worn.
Wait.
Oh no.
If you're ever in a really bad situation, in terms of your physical health, let me know, and I can turn you into a giant gorilla, so you can go apeshit on something. I can do it to two of us at a time. Just say, together ape strong, and I will know.
Hold up a bundle of sticks.
Just look over at Sanine with a look of like, what? Did you get that?
I don't know.
Leaves the
No,
room.
Noted. No,
Gone.
he's just left now. What the? What just happened? I know. I'm gonna go find my thing for the night. You have a good night, Sanine. I'm gonna start moseying out and heading to my room.
Alrighty. You guys have the full display of weapons and stuff. If you want to attune to whatever the fuck it is you want to attune to, go ahead. Max, you have a special thing.
Yeah.
Would you like to try to bond with it? This does not count an attunement slot. Well, technically it does. It takes an attunement slot of which people only have one of, and I'm going to call it a bond. Would you like to try to bond with it?
Sure.
Understood. Mark that somewhere.
She's over here having a bond with the scale. I'm over taking a bath, curling in my bed, and crying because what the fuck has been going on?
Water doesn't work like it used to. Now the only thing
You
that
also
gets you clean
don't
is
need shampoo.
sand.
And prestidigitation. But warm water is always good.
I wrote
Now
it down.
York can pick up the habit of just laying on a rock in the sun for hours at a time.
Is this Matthew?
I'm feeling a little called out here.
Yes.
Now, as we go, Max, at any point in time, if you want to try to see what this thing does, say that you wish to focus on it. And depending on the situation, it may or may not activate. Once it does fully, there's some complicated mechanics that we're going to have to go through, but it'll be fine.
Okay.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
All
Snake.
right.
Yeah, that's my whole plan for the night. Get a shower,
Yep.
get into his bed, have a small emotional breakdown as everything catches up finally. Go past that a little bit, and go to sleep.
See, Eric, because these aren't episodically named, they're just one thing. You missed being able to name the first one for this new saga here, Snake Eater.
The problem is we would 100% end up running out of names and repeating them. We've almost done that on Star Wars a couple times.
It's okay,
Yeah.
then shit like last Saturday happens.
All right.
Eric, plug your own channel.
No. There's no one for me to plug to. What the Right.
You don't know that.
No comment. You guys make it
Leave a
through the
comment.
night. Nothing attacks you in your sleep and tries to assassinate you.
Well,
Good,
that is a
good.
plus.
So I'm assuming you get the thing out of your pillow and put it somewhere on your person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pillow is kind of a rough place for it.
Yeah, I don't want to be mean to it.
You went from I don't want to touch it to I don't want to be mean to it.
Eh,
Listen, you already said she bonded with it.
Okay.
it's my baby now. This is my child.
Alright. You guys are currently in Nightbringer Hall. If you wish to travel to Rock Hollow for additional shopping chances, you may do so. I'll try to get things a wee bit expedited at this point. Get you guys into Raktesh proper by the end of this, and that'll probably be where session is. So, anything you guys want to do here in Nightbringer?
That's what I was trying to think of.
Stop by Magic Place, see if they can do anything about the shield or
Ah.
all stuff.
Nightbringer isn't as well established. It's still undergoing a lot of repairs. You have your basic tavern, and your basic, like, here's things people might need working on the farm, or, like, battle stuff. Mages in Diakov aren't terribly prevalent.
Got it. We'll talk to it.
Gotcha.
We're at Rock Hollow. We'll check the shield out there, I guess. Then,
Okay.
if they just tell us they don't know shit.
You guys head that way. I think it's
Got
just
a
like
book
a
to read along the way.
Yeah, you're reading a lot. And by now you kind of get the idea of, like, yeah, trying to craft a spell, totally a thing that's possible. Just takes a fair amount of time and dedication to it. But if it's anything to do with any of these elements, then I should probably be pretty good at it. Maybe. I think I read it right.
Are you giving me the basic 5 or 6 of acid, poison, fire, cold, lightning, thunder?
Anything elemental. So, like, if it's on absorb elements or chromatic orb.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking there.
The basics.
The chromatic element.
But the A's. But that's a highly mechanical talk and more of a thing for messages whenever you guys have extended downtime. not really traveling.
Yeah.
Unless you want to blow up your cart.
Do,
Kill your
jelly.
horses.
Blasting jelly.
Okay. Make it over there to Rock Hollow, pull out the same thing it is that you guys used to get access into Nightbringer, and you're allowed inside. This place looks a hell of a lot more industrious than it did earlier. See, the thing about war, it costs a lot, but it's also very profitable. And, if nothing else, this place is reaping the benefits, while still paying the cost. So, like, there's more of everything. Things are active, but this is what they do.
We shall send request for gathering with Lord Rockhollow. Or at least Stonewall will.
Get over there, show your things. Explain that you're the bastard of Siegebreaker. And it's not too long before you and your party are granted access.
It almost feels like a title for you at this point.
It is a title.
The Bastard of Siegebreaker.
Yes. That is what you are.
This is true.
There is not another.
That I know of, at least.
That we know of, fair.
I don't know, could be some offling off in the woods.
No.
Listen, your dad got busy in this time we've been gone.
I don't know if it's been enough time yet. It might be in the oven still.
Shh. Magic.
There we go, magic.
Right. You and your group are kind of hurried along a couple corridors in order to get you into a office that has entirely too many papers. But sitting there, you can see Lord Rockhollow. Just kind of trying to catch a few minutes of relaxation in between things, it looks like.
Again, remembering I'm wearing barber gloves.
Yeah. You're also with that guy. And apparently that
You
chick
probably
was
look
there with
nicer
the
than
siege.
Sanine.
That's what I'm saying. Here's these two people who have done something, have their titles and all that, and I am an orange kobold in farmer clothes.
Lord Siegebreaker. Sorry.
That's me.
Names go. Yes. Lord Rockhollow.
He'll give you a nod.
It's been it hasn't been too long since we've met here.
It's been some time. I've not been keeping track of what it is you've been often doing. Been getting some reports from Vashnia, though. Apparently they've been having some fun down in the south.
Yes, we'll be heading not quite straight south soon, but we may need some supplies or information or both. I can possibly compensate you, or if you may be able to send me to someone who can get us some gear here. But we've got word that there's some necromancer down there and towards the Forbidden Zone. And we plan to go take care of that.
On the
Something
Raktesh
along the
side or on the Belanue side? Or maybe Selek?
Raktesh side.
Understood.
Something along the lines of turning those dregs into some kind of beast as a weapon and using them to take out small settlements and even larger towns potentially. We don't know the extent of it, but it's something to put a stop to, and the person doing it.
So it sounds like I can't quite recruit you to my army yet.
Not at the moment, but things of dealing with the undead of sorts and necromancers will be greatly appreciated.
You have the resources of my city. If there's anything that you require, simply I'll give you a paper.
Yes. And I'll explain the snake situation again.
Interesting. And you said it had some sort of leaving behind. May I see it?
Gesture to Sanine. No, it doesn't seem to like to be touched by others, but
Does Sanine get it out?
Take out the baby.
Okay. It does its sparky thing. And he'll kind of like give a like head nod, like, I see. Well, whatever
yeah,
that
see.
is, it's likely very good that you got it instead of that thing delivering it wherever it was supposed to be delivering it.
Well, it was on the road heading here.
Don't.
No, it was heading to Nightbringer.
It was just heading
yeah.
east.
Oh, we thought it was heading to Nightbringer, but it was east in general. That's fair.
It was on the road headed towards Nightbringer, but who knows where it was actually going.
Well, we'll keep an eye out and try to make sure nothing fitting that description makes it inside of our walls. That would be horrific to have inside.
Should probably send out some kind of notice for travelers as well to send warning if they find someone like that. This mysterious box.
Not too many people have diplomats pouches. That may not do as much good as it could. I'll inform those able to actually semi-set up checkpoints, but outside of that.
But, I mean, the halfling that we encountered with the box, he was very shifty and reluctant. He repeated the same thing over and over again of just, please do not obstruct my way. I have to deliver this. And would actively try to sit there and move out of the way, and if you do that sort of thing where if you move one way, he starts to move the other and back and forth, or move backwards to try and go around. Sort of like a radius of if anyone got within it, it would try to move around so things worked.
Well, it doesn't sound like the slug things, so I don't know.
We don't know if it's related to something else or if it's related to the Forbidden Zone, but after taking care of this necromancer, we may have some more news.
I wish you luck on your journey. Is there anything else you require or wish to share?
Hi, I got no question. Kind of new here. If we had a
Yeah, this is probably definitely the first time
compatriot.
that a major lord and yourself were in the same room.
I know, and I'm like here, Lord, Your Grace, Your Majesty,
You're
dear
trying very
Lord,
hard, small one.
just a little nervous.
down.
New time, first time.
He died recently. He died recently. He's going through some stuff.
Okay, fair.
You're so blasé about that, and that still scares me.
A lot of people died.
Putting a pin in that for later. What would we do if we wanted to have medical, or I guess medical isn't the right term. Existential services or something to help our friend out.
Huh?
He kind of got stuck in a shield.
He is computing, trying to understand.
Oh, we were gonna go see the magic people about that anyways. He was just asking where the magic people were.
Yeah, kind of. Or just a general, putting it out there.
The lizard folk that moved in a while back are pretty good overall with anything alchemical or lightly magical and that sort. I have brought in some sorcerer types. They may be able to give you additional information. Maybe between the two of them you can have a solution.
Alright, we've got that to do with the rest of the day.
Oh, also, just as a fun note, a while after you all left over the Nightbringer, it was probably a month or two, some individual came to town and basically they brought a fuck ton of malachite, and whenever they did so, they began to transcribe it on things. So now we have a lot of basic weapons that can deal magic acid stuff. So that's kind of neat.
Oh, that sounds like someone really wanted to fuck those worms.
Well, not. It was very helpful.
I don't know I don't know how much that'll help for our situation with the undead, but
I mean,
probably couldn't hurt.
yeah. If you don't have the means to, like, if we don't have the equipment necessary to actually upgrade your stuff, if you can spare some time, maybe a few days, maybe a week at most, and have the resources to pay them, maybe one of the people that have picked it up will be able to transcribe something of yours.
Looks at book with the side. I think I might be able to work something out with them.
Just thought I'd mention it before you go over there and find a bunch of shiny green stuff and go, ooh, what's this?
We do like our shiny rocks, yes. Well, if there's any word of Vashnir's group that he doesn't relay to us directly, or any misgrievings that happen amongst them, please inform us. Or
See, I've just kind of told Medina to, like, send you messages. I don't know how up to date you are.
I haven't gotten anything in a long time.
All right. So at this point in time, he will share that the other group has... I'll just do it in character. My son and his party have made their way down to the Forbidden Zone out near Balanue. While they were there, they actually infiltrated it, and it seems that they killed the group responsible for actually getting those damn things out of the area. So the things that are attacking now should be the only ones that remain. Their influx should have stopped.
Just killing what's left off.
Yep. Sadly, though, they got an awful lot out beforehand. But things are looking upward. After that, I believe he mentioned that there was a companion of his that had business in Raktesh. And if you're heading there, perhaps you'll run into them.
Perhaps.
Or at the very least, get caught up in the outskirts of something that they do. Or they'll get caught up in the outskirts of something that you do.
One of us will cause enough trouble for
I
the
look
other.
over at Sabine.
I do nothing.
We'll probably be able to find each other. Is there anything along the routeways along there that we should keep an eye out for?
By and large, the traveling routes from here to Raktesh should be relatively clear of conflict. Once you get in the Raktesh, it's basic warband stuff, though. I'd stay away from north. Apparently, there have been some wyvern riders causing some problems there.
Well, southeast is where we're headed, so...
Works out.
Well, if there's nothing else we have to tell each other, I believe we should take our leave then.
Very well. Wish you luck on your journeys.
I wish you luck in the war.
And
I guess we'll go off to see.
head
I gotta give like a bow. Ears flop down. It's like shit. As he's like trying to flop him out, he's like forgetting what the headband is. He's just stumbling out like, oh god damn it, here we go.
Danae's gonna put the baby back in the backpack.
We'll get you up on Dwarven culture later. Actually, if you
Oh no.
actually, if you want, we could probably have an attendant teach you, but we've got other things to do.
I will jump out a window.
I think the windows are too tall for you to reach.
Yeah, strangely, whenever it comes to dwarven nobles, you are equally likely to have to duel one as you are to have to, like, do the whole bow and show respect nonsense.
I I don't want to. That sounds like it hurt. I'm good.
Okie doke. You heading to the armorer place first, or specifically the magic place?
Let's go see about getting the Uzat shield taken care of first.
Okay. You head into that district of the city, and the place that kind of screams the most magical to you, it's not really a storefront per se. It's more of a workshop area. And as you head inside, you can see in some containers there are imprisoned little slug creatures that it looks like they're trying to figure out better ways to kill. And some wizard-looking people doing enchanting stuff over in a different section.
This is kind of spooky.
Are they in the middle of actively enchanting something?
Just passively. It looks like there's no, like, rush on anything. It's just, remember the blah blah. Yeah.
This is all
Yeah.
you, man. This is your home areas.
True. Hell, we have some interesting items we need some queries about.
A lizard folk will turn towards you and pipe up. Yes, what is it? What do you have?
Oh.
This shield thing. One of our friends' souls might have been stuck in it or something along those lines.
That's
got
an
his name on
interesting
it.
problem.
Yes. Quite frankly, if you can get the soul out, we don't really want to keep the shield.
So try to destroy the item and free the soul, as it were.
Preferably free the soul, then do whatever you want with it.
Interesting.
You want to study it, we can give it to you.
Well, it likely won't free it without ceasing to work. So,
We can give it to you to research, though.
do you want to leave it here and then, well, honestly, I guess it doesn't matter, because if we break it, then it's broken and the soul's free, unless you're planning on grabbing it in something. Are you planning on doing that?
I look mildly horrified.
Body's quite some ways away. I think he's gone.
So this is just for us to take care of whenever we take care of it. This is a quest of mercy. I understand.
Preferably get the soul out of there so it can have rest, yes.
We shall begin work.
Thank you. And also we heard there was weapon enchanting, and we have undead, and potentially other things to kill.
There's less enchanting, and there's more of a transcribing. We have some basic assessment of stuff, but you don't seem the type to want a basic dagger with a scary acid rune on it. So I'm assuming that you probably want us to put some stuff on things that you have, right?
Yes, something along those lines.
Very well.
Also, I have a question about who came by with that rune work.
From what I was told and what they saw, they did not give their names. It was an elf of some kind, and once they were reasonably sure that we had the techniques underhand, they just fucked off. Took the nearest boat and left.
That sounds about right. Alright, I guess if I want to see anything about rune work, I'll have to find my dad.
Well, there are some people here that have the basics underhand, and we are spreading it like wildfire.
If you have a book on it that I can take and read while we're on our cart journey, as we'll be traveling for some time, probably.
Less book, more loose collection of notes. They didn't stay for mastery timing.
I can copy that down while I'm
Fair.
here.
So,
Into a
we will get things set up. What was it that you would like to have transcribed, and you want to learn and see the process, so you stay here. Depending on what it is you have, it'll probably take a few days.
Okay, well, We got permission from the Lord there to get whatever the shit we need.
That is going to decrease the cost exponentially.
Yes. So we're dealing with the undead, so I'm thinking we're gonna at least want silvered weapons, right?
Undead doesn't really care too much, by and large.
No? Oh,
They care more about magic
Yeah,
if
but-
they're ethereal, otherwise it's just more of a most things work.
well, if we're getting magical
Silver's-
then.
Like, for example, Selena, do you have any of your dragon teeth daggers visible?
Yeah, probably.
Like, you see those things
haven't.
there that look like they're made of the tooth of some great beast? Most of those would probably do it just as well as silver would.
I think
Rourke,
silver is
what-
mostly a lycanthrope thingy. So just to say, just more of a lycanthrope deal, I think.
The big lizard
We
will give the
fight a
small
werewolf.
lizard a nod.
Well, if we fight a werewolf, we're probably lighting it on fire anyways.
I feel like that creates more problems than it solves.
We'll cross that bridge when we burn it.
Maybe before.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Can I get across this bridge and out of the way before you light it on fire? I don't want to be in the crossfire again.
We'll get there when we get there.
That's
And
what
I
I'm
have yet
afraid of
And I have yet to light you
and
on fire.
excited for.
I have yet to light any of my teammates on fire.
So you're using the word "yet" in there in a way, and it's just that overall does not bode well.
I cannot make promises for the future.
So, like I said, if you would
I mean, he's going to burn us.
bring forth whatever items it is you wish to have us transcribe, we'll probably just give him an acid room because that works on most things.
Hmm.
And it's what we had the most of. They brought a big bag. Like it was just a bottomless bag, but it was full of one type of rock.
I kinda want one out of silver anyways.
We can manage that. It won't be +1
So-
because we don't have that readily available at the moment, but we can get you a silver one, then someone else could eventually possibly improve it.
I'm working on stuff like that. So
Okay.
I might be able to work on that.
Boo, boo, doo, boo, boo.
So what, if anything, would you like for them to put a rune on? And certain
Uh,
runes will play nice with each other. So if you wanted to transcribe your ruined axe there, you could.
So I'd have acid and electric.
Yes.
Well, sure.
Okay. Anything else? From anyone else?
Um,
Can I get it put on my
the shadow dagger.
the one that you just gave me?
Yeah.
Yeah, can I get it put on that?
Should work.
I've got a battle axe. I mean, we can just get them put on basically everything we have anyways, right?
Basically.
Let's just go ahead and add it to my inventory then, of my list of shit that I have.
It's gonna get pricey, but y'all have a lot of money.
Yeah. I have like maybe 2 things I was gonna add it to.
No, get it on everything. We have a blank check.
I only have like 2 things, dude.
I'm getting it on everything.
Please tell me how many items that is. Whenever this is over.
I think it's enough items that a blank check will cover.
At least
I
my
have a question.
rapier.
Do you want to just like off-screen do the selling of random equipment on here that I can just give you the list of what he has and we can just get a some amount?
If you're just selling stuff, then I'll just take that looter and give you money.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you want to just do that later?
I have no
Oh.
desire to do it live, so yes.
That's fair.
Is-
I guess
oh,
I have
do-
like 3 items I could use it for.
Does obsidian do anything for the runes? Is that a listed material? I have obsidian, if they can use it.
It is not a listed material.
Okay, damn. Is this just adding a d4 of acid, or is it a d6?
It's just going to be
like,
a D4.
Yeah, the electric's D4.
D6 is a hard level to hit.
Yeah.
Out of character, as someone who is messing with this system, D6 is not exactly easy to hit.
Oh, no.
Unless you're a flame tongue. Then
No,
you
I'm
get
just
to-
talking about the runes specifically, none of that.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, would it work on a crossbow, or would that have to be
Yeah.
on the ammo?
It'd work on a crossbow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll just, like, put it out there, I guess, like, 3 items. They're right, I might as well do something. It's like, I kind of want something. I died. I want to have something to protect myself more.
Yeah.
Just tell me how many items total, because it's a flat cost.
That's what I was telling you, -3.
You know what's nice? We're in a place where that cost has been greatly less inflated.
Reduced.
Well, it's still going to cost raw material, basically. But it's not going to cost anything above raw material.
That shouldn't be bad.
As a matter of fact, it's only costing half of raw material.
It shouldn't be bad then, no, at all.
Still high.
I mean, it's high for everybody's standard, but I mean,
You guys have a lot of
Who's
money.
that shit should
It's still
cover
high.
that. Yeah, who's that shit should cover that. Alright. 3 items for me.
Ooh, I can do it on the whip too.
Yeah.
I probably
Like
can't
it-
do it on my crossbow, can I?
Then you can. I just asked about that.
Well,
Oh, wait, I
hold
don't know your
on.
force one.
Yeah.
Sorry, you have a force one.
hers fires magic bolts. Magic it doesn't play well with runes. It wouldn't connect to it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I meant I should ask that then. Would it work on the rapier I have for stabbing? I
It
know
would
it
work
won't
for
work for the
stabbing.
bolt.
It
I
wouldn't
know
work
it
for the
won't work
bolt.
for the bolt. Okay, I didn't know if it would interfere with that way or not.
So I can put it on my rapier too.
Yeah, but you're putting it on
Wait,
your
can
tiny
I-
dagger.
Can I put it on my slingshot?
That's ridiculous, but sure.
It's no different than the crossbow, honestly.
But it's a slingshot.
It's a sling, like the old style slings normally. Listen, you can hunt and kill with the sling. It hurts.
Absolutely, it's just
Hey, David took down Goliath
imagery
with
is
a
killing ya.
slingshot.
it's silly. Continue. Once I have a total, I will give you guys a price, and then you can probably just share.
I think that's all I got.
I got 14 things.
Okay, so 14.
Jesus. Wow, I feel under equipped. What about you, Max?
Next,
Apparently.
I had
8
3.
8 of those are hand axes, though.
plus 14 plus 3 plus.
How many for you, Max? Like 2 or 3?
I said 3.
3.
Okay.
Like how Max and I have a reasonable amount, and then there's him like, would you like to enchant my entire arsenal?
Well, the combined cost is 700 gold.
It is not a lot.
Considering that realistically each individual item would cost double that if you were making it, correct.
So we split it at 233 each. I'll take the 234 of the odd number.
You know what? Fine, that's good. It'll be used to help us. I don't mind helping Shell out a little bit extra there. 233. 5.
This is quite a lot of items that we're having to transcribe. I'm afraid it's going to take a couple days.
We have some other things to do and look into.
That is fine. If you tell us where you are going to be staying, we will send a messenger to you.
We'll be somewhere in the palace, probably.
Very well.
Looking over her, like we could sleep in the palace.
Wow. I had to bribe myself to get in the palace last time.
Well, apparently all we gotta do is come in with him now. That seems to be working.
Apparently.
You guys seem to forget that you've been in the presence of a lordling this entire time. Faster
Your
than
royalty?
maybe.
You just don't carry yourself like one.
You don't.
You don't act like one. You don't carry yourself like one. It's kind of easy
I
to
would have
slip
never
under.
known.
Well, ironically, a lot of the armor that we like to wear would be kind of less affected than my skin most of the time. Along with that, I've stuck with much more of the practical stuff aside from the decorative warband stuff. And the nice clothes I had got burned in a fire. And, well, these ones have been kind of blown up, electrocuted. Ah, that's what I meant to do last time. I need to go see a tailor. There we go. Let's go see a tailor.
Assuming that there's nothing else you need from us. Have a
Anything
good
else you
day.
got, Bolt? Magic
I think
questions?
I'm good.
Alright. I'll come back and check upon the rune inscribing stuff after we get some fresh clothes.
Very well. There'll be enough of it happening.
York, well, doesn't apply to you anymore, but Sanine, if you wish to have your hair cut or any sort of grooming while we're in here,
I feel kind of attacked.
No
I don't
haircut.
know. I don't know what they can do for scales. And
Nope, that was not him. That was just about. It's like I feel kind of attacked.
Sanine bathed, okay? She already did her grooming.
That was a couple days ago.
I toss water on my head while I wear my clothes. I'm clean now.
Yeah. I'm clean now.
Anyways,
Alright, so
Okay.
visiting a tailor, anything in particular, or just like better clothes?
just re-up his clothes some, yeah.
Okay. Are you going for like anything fancy or just like pure function?
Let's go with a mix.
Okay. In that case, for a gold, they'll get you taken care of.
And let's get the Stonewall crest back on it.
Alright.
That's probably been blown off at some point or tattered.
Just kind of re-up it, get the colors back into it. Not too hard. Doesn't take them too long at all. These guys have had to sew a lot. Because banners and banners and banners.
What's the Hulk have to do with this? Dun dun dun. I'm just
Dun
kidding.
dun dun.
I killed you once.
Damn.
If we're fighting
Well,
the Hulk, you're the one that gets to fight.
What?
You made the comment.
I'm not sure how that's how this works.
It works like Smash. Smash
I'm
puny
not-
kobold.
Which kobold? Anyways. I think I'll just go through and actually buy a little bit nicer than clothes. Like, not necessarily I'll wear as commonly, but just like a set of nicer clothes for situations like we have to go and meet a lord and get it, so I'm not running up in workers'
Okay.
clothes.
Actively nice clothes. I run you 4 gold.
Damn, boy.
Because you're getting an entire new clothes set.
Yeah, I have to. Small
4
even for
whole
this
gold.
land.
There's only so much prestidigitation can do.
Okay. Just to say here, Yorick, you got your new duds. You're probably feeling better about yourself than you have in a while. The tavern scene here is lively. If you would like to go play your trade.
I'm debating it. I'm trying to work on a title for Sanine for the next one, but that might have to wait a minute until I get a proper one worked out there. But there's no reason to not go employ the trade. Get used to his new higher pitched voice than all that shit.
So then this one I'll give to you.
Oh no.
No?
It was
You may
later.
want You may want a stool to conduct from before we get in there.
It gives you the bitter look like, God damn it. Is this how everyone else felt? You're
Pretty
around
much, yeah.
looking up. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Hey. Do you want to do it like this and get used to it now? Or I can transform you back into a bugbear for an hour.
I no longer have a
get
voice
used
in
to
campaign,
this.
but that sounds like a horrible idea.
I know. I have to get used to this.
Well, no better way to get used to something than just being thrown into the fire, right?
No, that's not what.
He shoves you,
Barkeep.
and I'm assuming. Go on.
Barkeep. No, not shoving him yet. Not shoving him yet. Barkeep.
They'll stop polishing their glass and look up.
Liquid courage.
Give a
Nothing
nod.
actually magic. Nothing actually magical. Just
Nope. Not for this.
Give a nod. Set it down. Pour something into there, and then give someone the table at the bar a look. Hand it over to him. Then that person will hand it to someone else. Then it will continue along this chain until it finds its way to you.
throw a gold over in that direction.
It flies off in that direction.
All right. Shove the drink towards him.
I just said what? No.
Oh, if you're getting up, well then give him a shove towards the stage and drink it myself. Then, if he's not.
All right. Take it. Strong? Okay. And now a little kobold stumbles onto the stage. Everyone
He's just sitting there
stares
like,
at them.
why is everything scary? He's just sitting there possibly like, why is everything scarier when you're 2 feet tall?
Welcome to my life.
As a sea of dwarves just turn and look.
It's literally just like, this was a lot less intimidating when I towered over all of them.
His ears are just kind of like lightly twitching in like anxiety.
Yeah, take
not-
a second.
It's not a lively bar of the gnomes just fucking off around from a hard day's work. You have war-torn dwarves.
Just gonna take a breath. Breathe in real deep. Look back all over all of them. Kind of rub his hands together. And as he rubs his hands together, let a little bit of that green, like, mist start to gather and pour off. And then just throw his hands open wide as it swirls around. Try to just cover just the lighting up, like, up on the stage and all around him and the like. To a more, like, for like a ethereal night view of things. It's almost like it's like a normal night, your starlight, your space concept, but like a little bit more on the ethereal side than the direct physics, like what we see normally. He's gonna look around at all of them, and like funky shapes are gonna start running through collars and all kinds of oddities.
You see one dwarf just at one of the booths, just unreasonably tickled by what they're seeing.
Damn it, Eric, you're not allowed to make me laugh. I'm trying to tell a story.
I'm sorry, he's high as fuck, and you're making this really weird for him.
It's okay, it's medicinal.
God damn it. I'm already terrible at this. That's why this is the character, though. Got a play a trait I need to work on. So, looking around at all of this, he goes,
He goes.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to. It's hard to like start a story sometimes for me. In a different land, a different time, a long ways from here. Although in some ways similar, war-torn and ravaged. Like a simple village. It was a nice, cozy village. Nothing happened, nothing was fun. Nothing was boring, though. They kept themselves entertained until the war reached them, and people were drafted, recruited, sent out, returned. And amidst all of this was a teenage girl. Not much different than what most people here were. My father worked in a mine. Her mother worked as a seamstress until they went away and they had to help out with a number of efforts. And slowly but surely, she watched as people were filtering in and out, and the village started to get more dreary and saddened. But she tried to stay hopeful. She tried to stay excited. Tried to look at that world through the lens of wonder that you had as a child that a lot of us have lost. And for 2 long years through this war, she persevered until it kept getting worse. Less people would come back, more would go out. But one night, as she lay in bed, sleeping the night away, trying to dream the dreams instead of nightmares, she found herself in a simple grassy field, a knoll, not the gentle rolling hills, much like we'd find out in the far countrysides. And at first she found this odd. It'd been a long time since the grass had seemed this green, the sky this sunny. And she did what every kid would do. She went out, she ran, she started frolicking in the fields, having fun, rolling down the hills, scraping up her knees, getting dirty, enjoying the noise of the bugs and the insects and the warmth of the sun. Till she went over a hill, and as she started to tumble down and she got to the bottom, stood up like the rest, like every other time, and stood up. There, floating, was a small, maybe 3-foot tall, ovalish shape. A door, maybe. Because looking through this shape, she saw something completely different. A land filled with just wonderment and magic. She would walk through and there was all kinds of noises and bustling. She found herself in a carnival. But it wasn't a carnival like anything we'd seen. Magic drifted everywhere. Bubbles of color floated through the air. Music drifted from every corner of the tents. You could see performers dancing almost as if gracefully on the air. Some of them skating on ground like we would on a frozen pond. Odd mixes and matches and baubles and fancy clowns blowing balloons of who knows what. Every time it popped, something new would pop out. And she rejoiced, because there was a little bit more happiness in the world now. And she enjoyed her night. She had her night to play. She woke up the next day every bit ecstatic. All of the weight that had been pressing down on her started to leave. There was a little bit of that sense of wonder back. And so as she went out that day, she started talking to everybody else, trying to share just a little bit of that wonder she felt the night before. And it wasn't much. Not very many people had much to be cheerful for those days. But she got a smile here and there. The next night when she went to bed, she found herself again on these grassy hills and knolls. And as she ran and played, she found another circle. This one leading to a very jungled area. Water everywhere, like water running, a small waterfall, pouring in and filling a pond, a little swimming pool. And in it were playing these massive giant otters, laughing and having a good time of it all. Stepping through, she immediately felt the heat cake in and, without hesitance, ran to jump and join them. And played all night. Enjoying the sun, enjoying the heat, enjoying the otters, the fur, the fun, the playfulness, enjoying the break from the dreary reality. But the night came, as all nights have to end, so did the dream. But like the day before, she had just a little bit more in her step. And the next day, she made just a little bit more, so of a few more people smile. She started to tell stories of her crazy dreams, or even just start describing fun little things, and people would come in and play, and they would start to smile. And the days went past, and she would dream of more and more fantastical news, like new things, animals, creatures, places, beings, activities, flying through the skies, soaring through the oceans, skipping across the waves, or plunging to the depths to wonderful, magnificent cities. And every day she would try to cheer up her village. So finally, the war ended. But it didn't end in the way everybody was hoping. Their kingdom had fallen. Many of the people that had left the village, well, many of the people that left the village had left for good. They never came back. One last final clash of titanic armies saw to that. And all of that cheer that they had built up was gone. And that night when she went to bed, eager to find more dreams, to hopefully help, to just give a little bit of a smile to somebody, she would run and run and run till she found her first portal, her first doorway. Without hesitance, she jumped through. She didn't even bother looking through, and as soon as she jumped through, immediately things were different. There were no fun things, there was nothing exciting. As soon as she jumped through, it was dark, it was gloomy, it was looming. She found herself in the woods, as we've all found ourselves in the woods, I bet. But these weren't the welcoming midday walks, warm sunny days, slight drizzles, the fall coming in. This was a wintry, cold, creeping one. And she started to push through. She's hoping just maybe there's something in here. It's just a winter wonderland. She'd seen them before, right? But there was no wonderland as she continued on. And she started to get these feelings. She started to see things out of the corner of her eyes, angry looking figures in trees. Something crunching the snow around her, angry animals. Nothing hostile, but all that. Something was different. And night after night, she could no longer find those wonderful things that she had started to spring out for people. Things would get worse, they'd get darker. And she noticed as this happened, her town got sadder. It got more broken down. People started giving up. A lot of farms would close down. Her village was dying. She had started to give up. She couldn't find any more of that spark, that life. But Not all had been bad in the world. She'd gained a sister recently. A little one, a tiny one. And that night, when she was taking care of them, they fell asleep, simply sitting in their house as many had done before. When she drifted off into sleep that night, she found herself back in that field, doors and holes stretching across all of it. And she looked across it with sadness inside. Till she saw a little glimmer. A little bit more sunshine than she normally would. And almost didn't do anything, but she thought maybe I should look at it, just to give it a shot. And she proceeded along, strolling carefully, avoiding those darker ones. Not all of them had been kind to her. And through it all, mainly coming across for the first time in a long time, a simple, bright outlook finally. Wasn't anything big. It was a stepping through. It was just a house that seemed a lot bigger than normal to her. With a roaring fireplace, cackling, oddly shapen, but nonetheless people, curled up in blankets around it. Just simply enjoying each other's company and presence. And it was nothing fantastical, it wasn't nothing amazing that everything I've seen. But after so many dark nights, it was finally a bit of warmth. She woke up in the morning, she was walking around, she woke up like every other day. Felt a little bit different. The room felt a bit more familiar as she thought about that dream. She's looking down. She's realizing there was a family sitting around that whole fireplace. She's looking down at this little kid in her arms, her little sister, realizing they were wrapped up around in blankets near a fireplace. And just started to laugh, to giggle a bit, realizing maybe, just maybe, that someone new was starting to dream again. Somebody new was starting to put it out, and she was like, maybe that's what she'd been running through. Maybe she hadn't actually been finding these new worlds, these fantastical places. She'd just been finding the village's dreams. And she had started to despite all of the loss of hope. There's this little kid here still. Doesn't know a thing about the world, but dreaming happily and starting it up. She started to think herself, if she could find this kid's happiness. This kid could find happiness in all this. Maybe she could find happiness again there. If these really were people's dreams. She had a new goal when she went to bed that night. And she went back to the first one she'd found. She found that dark forest, looming oppressiveness, angry trees, people, creatures, and started to build a snowman. Whenever she caught one of the views out of the corner of her eye, she just kind of tried to wave him over and bring him in. And she grabbed one. It was this pale, hidden kid, simple clothes. He was out of the way. He was a little bit stretched and gaunt, but she brought him over. Slowly but surely. He seemed kind of nervous, but nonetheless, he was there. He came with her. And they finished building a snowman. Then they built another. And then they built another. And then they played in the snow for a little bit longer, having snow angels, small ball fight. And as time went through this dark, scary place of sadness, depressiveness, slowly started to lighten up. When she went about her business the next day after she woke up, for the first time in a long time, she heard, over by the baker's house, a happy, cheerful tune, somebody whistling as he did his work. Doors and windows opening and scent drifting through the village. And her realizing, maybe, just maybe, a little bit of work, they'd be alright. Sure, everything had changed. Times had come. They were hard. But everybody can dream. And maybe, just maybe, that'd be enough for now. And I think he's gonna leave it at that for the moment there. Just look around the rest of them.
It's not like
Start to.
a bunch of applause or stuff.
Nope.
There's a very somber tone throughout the
Yep.
bar at the moment.
But this was what you told me. This was a war place right now.
Absolutely. So they're just kind of ruminating on that.
Girl, there's always a sunny tomorrow. And he'll just clap his hands, and when he does, just all of it that have been animating and dancing along and giving life and imagery to what he's been doing, just all starts to just poof into the green smoke and just suck him to his hands like it's a vacuum and disappear.
Gonna be real ironic if it rains in the morning.
You won't know till you head outside. Or look over at the port.
You're taking me too literally. You're ruining my jazz.
That was Robert, not Stonewall.
I know, this is bad. No, it's not Yorick.
Now that I'm not ruining York's jazz, we'll be fine.
And he'll just give like his nice, just try to give it like a nice warm smile, give a bit of a bow, and head off the stage.
Now there's a fucking monsoon on the way.
It's gonna pour in the morning. They're gonna look at me like, you fucker. It's like, I'm a hide.
Like I said, it's more of a somber tone. They're kind of sitting there ruminating. You just kind of walk off the stage, recollect with your party, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not every story's gonna be a great one that leaves you cheerful, but might be what they need.
They might have enjoyed the trees with knees more.
Maybe. I mean, maybe it's hard to say. It didn't feel right tonight.
Well, maybe tomorrow.
So Nina's got like 1.5 bars of battery, gauging by all those yawns.
She hasn't got to stab anything to keep her awake.
Need bloodshed.
Vampire.
Dampier.
But it felt right for the night.
Now I'm assuming you guys are gonna go find somewhere to sleep.
There's a castle.
sounds
we can
about
go
right.
back to.
Shove some weight around, get some rooms in the castle.
Yeah.
Alright, that works. And if you thought the rooms at Nightbringer were good, they got nothing on this.
I would like to find the hot tub, please.
Through some searching, you find an equivalency.
I was making a joke. I didn't know they'd have it as dwarves.
They do whatever the fuck they want, they're dwarves.
Fair.
You see, this is a nice place, York. The hot spring.
He's just looking around like, what?
Now, you find it. Now, some of them are magically made, but when you can find them in nature, they're really great. Unless they're not actually water, you have to be really careful about that. Kind of hard to tell the difference there, though. You won't know
Yeah,
until
no.
you get it. Or you drink it. Or drink.
Okay.
You know, I've had one hot spring before. I ended up running through it with my clothes in hand, though.
Let's do this way because I want to try to keep the feel from the thing you just did and get things finished off because it sounds like Max is about to literally pass out on me. So, you guys wait a couple days. Wait some time. Jackson, you spend some time watching the transcribing things. You think you might be able to pick it up if you sit there and try with it. They explain to you that in order to do anything, you need moonstone and an equivalent amount of a different precious stone or mineral. So, like, if you were to try to make something, for instance, you would, and it cost, like, say, 35 gold worth of materials, you would need 35 moonstone and 35 of the material. And then you'd still have to not fail a check.
Okay.
Yeah, shit wasn't cheap.
No. It's expensive, but it's good.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What kind of check be it?
It's its own special kit check, so you're gonna need to kind of slowly get proficiency with it, unless you just want to break your shit, which I don't think you do.
No.
I'm pretty sure you would have seen a lot of melted and warped like daggers and pieces
Yeah,
from when Saltmeyer played with this stuff.
this is gonna be passive, but it's possible.
Yep. Things to do during travel time and downtime.
And speaking of travel time, once everybody has all their things, you hit your card up, you're all fully restocked with whatever it is you need to restock, and if there's something specific, just send me a message. And you guys head out that morning, and let me roll. There's a light rain. And we're going to call session there. Alright.
There's gonna be dwarves calling you a little shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Anything particular before I cut stream and recording off?
Man, that story was going to be a lot more cheerful. It did not go that way as I thought it would.
That's actually, that works out, because if you remember, you had one note from the interdimensional being saying, like, hey.
I know.
And it's just like, oh, maybe he's learning.
Now
That
he
was just
needs
a lot more cheerful in my head than the route it actually took was like, oh man, here we are.
Alright. If there is nothing else, that's it for this time. And we'll pick this up before too long. Have a good one. And goodbye.
But